Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live Christmas Eve edition. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory as we head towards the final trading session before the Christmas break. The holiday shortened session will wrap up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So keep that in mind. Only a half day to go before we head out for a few days. The Dow, the NASDAQ, both erasing early gains yesterday to finish a little change, while the S&P did close higher on the session yesterday, and we'll look to extend those gains coming up this morning. We're watching Chinese company shares this morning: Alibaba, JD.com, Baidu, and also Pinduoduo, all trading lower after the Chinese government announced it was launching an investigation into the possibility of a monopoly when it comes to Alibaba. So we'll talk about that coming up. EV makers back on the move. XL Fleet, what a move that had yesterday late in the day and throughout the session as well. 200 million shares traded. We'll talk about XL Fleet, up about 70% on the session yesterday, its second day after completing its merger with the SPAC. And we'll also have a look at another SPAC coming up. Sean's favorite, STIC. BarkBox is moving again today. It is Thursday, December 24th. It's the Christmas Eve edition of tradertv.live, and it starts right now. Here's a look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see Shanghai to the downside once that news came out of the investigation into Alibaba. Those shares down about 8% on the day. We had Hong Kong, meanwhile, a little bit higher, 0.16%. Australia in positive territory. Japan as well, up about 0.5%. Let's go over to Europe, see how things are shaping up so far throughout the European landscape. Yeah, nicely positive here right across the board outside of France. Shift over one more time and we'll look at North America next here. Yeah, more positivity, but only just. All three U.S. markets to the upside. We have Canadian futures to the upside. Brazil's open, trading higher. Bitcoin to the downside again this morning. Crude oil off about 0.5% as well. You noticed that early on. And gold back in positive territory, but only just.
Flashing lights.
There it is. We turned the lights on. The Grinch has arrived in his green today, and Neil as well with the ugly Christmas sweater. Good morning, guys. It's Christmas Eve. The market is open. Well, not yet, but going to be open until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Still some opportunities to trade here this morning. We had the help of the Chinese government coming out overnight talking about an investigation into Alibaba. So we have Chinese shares to the downside to start.
Before we get into that, I just want to say that is not an ugly Christmas sweater, Brendan. That is your gorgeous, sweater, beautiful, perfect Christmas sweater.
Does it have a Mandalorian on it? I don't know if it has a Mandalorian on it.
No,
it's from last year.
Mandalorian would be better. The Stormtroopers are okay, to be sure. There we go. Yeah, obviously half day Christmas Eve here, so we're gonna be here, of course, trading these markets. We got some fun with Sean's Grinch outfit that maybe we'll pull on a little bit later. But like as Brendan said, there is a lot moving today. Especially given the fact that it's a shortened holiday. You might expect volumes to be lower. Overall market volatility tends to be a little bit skittish, but there are so many movers and shakers yesterday that some of them are continuing today. Going to be watching, Fuel Cell, which might have its first down day in a week. We'll see about that. But also XL was just a monster runner. I'll let Sean talk about his favorite SPAC. I'm back in some I suppose familiar territory is watching that OCGN once again, although I'm down on it of the three shorts I have on today. Alibaba just broke 230 to the downside, and I wrote down some bids, like some pipe dream dips that I didn't think would come into play, and they just might, Sean. They just might.
Yeah, I'm wearing the Grinch today, but it's like the Chinese government is Grinching up my Christmas right now. But look, we've talked about Alibaba buying some of that into, I think it was 262, where we're long on that name. And yeah, today coming with some, monopolistic behavior, like obviously. I mean, I already know that about Alibaba, but the problem here is that now you have the Chinese government all over them. This was actually the level we were talking about getting more shares, guys, down here, like 240 to 235-ish. We're cracking that right now. And the level that I really feel I missed was this 220 break back when that happened back in June, July. And then since then we went to 320, from 220 to 320. Nothing's changed for Alibaba other than obviously we have the investigations now into their practices. And look, because Chinese, because everything in the U.S. right now is focused, on trade, on regulation. We have the FTC looking at Google and Facebook and all this stuff, and now you have the same thing happening in China with Alibaba. Normally, you buy things on the third day of negative news, but I kind of think that there's been a lot of negative news on Alibaba since. Jack Ma will get this figured out. They'll get this figured out. I'm sort of more of a buyer down here at 220, which we may get to today, but I'm nibbling. You'll see me nibble in the long-term account today to get an average price better. We are long, like I said, 262 on this name, so down that 10-15% from here, not good. But I'm a buyer at some of these levels, guys.
Yeah, we also, it's worth noting, guys, the spinoff, their Ant Group affiliate spinoff, will also be summoned to an investigation and a meeting as well. But we'll talk about that coming up. We'll have a more in-depth discussion on some of the other names, Baidu, Pinduoduo, also JD.com, also trading to the downside this morning. Before we get too far into things, let's get over to the desk and say good morning to Valeria.
Good morning, Brandon, and hello, traders. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. Guys, the best present for us would be if you support and hit thumbs up. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Turning my lights off. They're annoying me. All right. Let's get into some other things here. Let's have a look at how traders fared here at Day Trade the World yesterday. Big numbers coming out of some markets, even on December 23rd. Look at the opportunities, guys. 57,000 number one here. Canada, TSX, the venture there, NASDAQ, New York. More Canadian content here, number 3, 33,000. You can see nice 5-figure days right down to number 7. If I scroll down a bit, you can see more OTC pink sheets there. Hong Kong and Thailand making a rare appearance on the list at number 9 at 4,000. So another great day for traders here at Day Trade the World. We have lots to discuss, guys. Do you want to get into this a little bit further here before we bring in Luis Barbado from Spain, going to join us from Barcelona once again this morning, and have a look at what he is discussing and looking at heading towards the open. But I want to mention some of these other Chinese stocks because, yes, it's an investigation surrounding Alibaba, but as I mentioned, we have JD.com, we have Baidu, and Pinduoduo all in negative territory this morning.
And obviously, it's sort of, if they're starting a party here with Alibaba, then maybe down the line you'd see, investigations and looking into JD.com. And the reality of these businesses is that, to a certain extent, when you have these oligopolies, some of the practices that you're talking about here are pretty commonplace. You've seen the same concerns with Apple, with Amazon, with Google. So it's nothing that's new. And it's almost like, I hate to say it, but the only other way to put it is if you're not doing it, then you're doing it wrong. It's like in baseball. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. So I think it's expected. I certainly feel like JD here, already down like 4%, might have a little bit more room to run. And just looking at how far Alibaba has come, down to that 10% mark, like Sean said, we just broke 230. You do have this sort of 79.80 level, which is approaching on JD. And I don't wonder if you don't test some of those. It just feels like, as far as a risk-off event would go here, people that preferred BABA already might be thinking about, okay, well, do I sell some of these other names to go buy Alibaba if that's the shift that you want to make? So that's what I'll be first thinking. If there is a bit of a break on JD, I'll be having a look at this one in particular. It's likely that Alibaba is going to be the most heavily traded today. I think that sort of goes without saying. But the sympathy play, it feels like it didn't really come that far on JD.com. I wouldn't be surprised to see like 4 or 5%, 5 or 6% from this 4 if you see BABA hold this 10% down.
Yeah, for sure. I was just seeing some people here talking about, this is the thing about Toronto, like So Rick Jones, it's 7 degrees Celsius in Toronto and -10 in Chicago. Toronto gets a bad rap because, yeah, weather is way worse, like in Western New York, through Pennsylvania than it is here in Toronto, Minnesota, my boys, the Green Bay. Things are bad, man, and in Chicago. So Toronto, we have it pretty good. I feel a little bit windy, but I guess the Windy City has us beat on that one. I like Baidu down here. I mean, Baidu, we're bumping up. This is a 20-minute chart, guys, so we go all the way back to like the 16th here of December, so just a week. But you do have this bottom when I'm looking at right here, 185.50. Let's call it 184. Just give it some room if it does break there. So I'm going to try to build a position here on Baidu. If I can get, like right now I'm bidding 186. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I do have a live order down there right near our 20-period moving average on a 20-minute chart. But I like it. If we can get that, we'll watch it. I like Baidu. Look, we talked about Baidu getting into electric cars. We know everything about them. They've been rocking and rolling recently. I mean, nice jumps up 162 just last 2 weeks ago, up to 200. Probably just catching some slack right now in this Chinese debacle that is Alibaba. But Alibaba will be back, guys. This is a good buying opportunity in my opinion. I think you got to dip in. I don't know about the day trade, like Neil was just saying. We'll probably be shorting it all day, but I think if you get that down to 220, I do like Alibaba, but I like Baidu better. For a day trade, I think that bounce is better.
All right, guys, speaking of good weather, let's bring on our friend from Spain, Barcelona, Spain, to be exact. Luis Barbado joining us once again this morning from Barcelona. Luis, first of all, tell everyone what the Christmas Eve forecast is in Barcelona, Spain today.
Well, we are not cold here anyway. We're like 15, 18 degrees up. So
like 60-ish Fahrenheit, 58, 60.
Yeah, right.
Hence the
sorry for
the
you guys.
No, it's fine. It's fine. How are you? Good to see you once again. Happy holidays, first of all. Let's jump into what is happening this morning. We have, as we mentioned, some Chinese stocks moving around. Over in Spain, is that something that you guys will jump onto when there's news like this surrounding one company, but an entire group is affected?
Yeah, sometimes we do, but actually, we are more specialized in trading a small cap, the big caps or blue chips. So, and also not about the expensive stocks as BABA. So not for day trading at least. If you try some swing trader or fundamentals, yes, of course, we would jump on some moment in BABA, but we are trying to focus in cheap stocks, small caps where we have a lot of volume. So today, I'm checking what we traded yesterday and what's gapping up and down today. We're looking at FRSX Foresight. I think it's a very interesting stock today. It's a second day up. Yesterday was up 300%. So it's going to be interesting if it jumps over $5.50, $6. We might have a second day moving up. If not, we're looking for the short side, trying to close a little bit of the gap that left yesterday to $4, likely $4.50 mainly.
I want to talk a little bit about some volume here, Luis, as well. We've had some impressive volume days over the past couple of days, even leading into the Christmas break, which is not normal. We had a number of stocks even yesterday over the 100 million mark, even approaching the 1 billion mark with OCGN. When it comes to the liquidity available this week and the volume that we've seen, is that something that, in your experience, is typical?
It is very important for us. We need the volume. We need the volatility. It's also true that we need the volatility with high volume, so we cannot fall in traps or very sharp movement that we cannot manage. So we need the volume with volatility both sides. So, for example, yesterday we have OCGN. That's a clear sample. You talk about 1 billion shares traded almost. So that gives you a lot of confidence to trade big there, to jump, to see when is the timing to jump in and out. So I think it was a very interesting stock. It is the third day today, 2 days with 700, 900 million shares traded. So I would see today, I think it might fail on highs, and we have a third day a little bit on the downside with OCGN, for example.
Yeah, a few other ones this morning as well. There's that Tonix, TNXP moving around, also Sense, SENS. What are your thoughts on some of these other names today?
Since it's fighting $1, so if it goes sub-dollar, we don't really like it that much. But let's see if it holds over 110, we might see a jump 120, 130, and then we have a nice stock to trade. We really hope it doesn't lose $1. It's similar to Avenger also. It's sub-dollar right now, but we've seen moving up almost 100%. So it's another stock to check, AVGR.
Maybe thoughts a little bit, Lewis, before we bring in Neil here. I know he wants to talk about OCGN, but heading into holiday shortened trading session today, what do you need to see in order to be confident in putting on a trade with some actual size today? In relation to if there's a lack of liquidity to just kind of take the foot off the gas and relax a little bit.
Well, I think if you have a nice stock picking, you will have liquidity. But if you're wrong trading some symbols, some blue chip that due to the day that is today, maybe there are many traders, many banks, funds, and high frequency trading that they are not very active today. But if you pick up the right stocks, you will have volume, guys. If you are in the stocks, you should be like Fuel Cell, FRSX, OCGN, VAVA today, if you like expensive stocks. If you are on those stocks, it doesn't matter. They have news today, so they don't care if it's Christmas Day or whatever.
Yeah, Foresight Autonomous was an interesting one yesterday, that FRSX. No direct news, but getting into that autonomous driving sector as well, so in play because of that. Great stuff, Lewis. Let's bring in Neil here. I know he wants to ask you about OCGN.
Absolutely, Lewis. First off, two things before we get into OCGN. One, I certainly hope SENS doesn't go back above $1 because I'm short at 99. And AVGR, I kind of like these penny ones, especially when they show that kind of weakness because I'm looking to short them. But I do have to ask you, you're a fantastic guest, and we love you. We love you to death, so thank you for coming on. But what is with the Orioles hat? We're in Toronto, and I'm a big Jays fan, so I'm going to assume it's a fashion thing, hopefully, and you don't actually have any affinity for that horrible club.
I'm sorry for you guys. I actually have affinity for the club. I was in Baltimore like 5 or 6 years ago, and I went to a match there. I really love the stadium. I really love the atmosphere. I'm sorry for you. I'm not a baseball fan anyway. I'm a soccer guy. I'm a football, of course. But in this case, I'm sorry for you. I really like the Orioles. Go Orioles, go.
Fair enough. And actually, it's a beautiful, beautiful stadium. That's one thing they definitely have over us. Ours is a big piece of concrete, and Camden Yards is gorgeous. I got to ask you about OCGN. Let me just quickly throw the 3 up here so you can see a little bit better. Now, this was a crazy runner. I was able to make back what I lost shorting it sort of, towards the end of the show and then into the afternoon when the volumes were just holding up so well. Now, you get an event like this, we'll call it the day 2, where it's obviously not going to do a billion shares today because it's a half day and it's a second day. But the inability so far to hold that close. Do you go into your trading? I know you guys will be in and out very often. A lot of those scalping trades. Do you have a bias in something like this when you did put in a bit of a hard top, when it hasn't held yesterday's close, when it is down that 10%? Is there any bias going in, or is it just simply be very, very active with whatever trend you see in the moment?
Well, I think it's very important to identify what moments of the day are. And of course, today I have a short bias because it's a third day. I don't think it's going to trade 500 or 700 millions anyway. Today, I have a short bias. I can be wrong, of course, and I switch my bias. I don't care. But I'm gonna have short bias today. Yesterday, after the the false breakout on $3 and the consolidation on 280, 285, we had a very strong short bias. So we try to go short all the time on those 280. I'm gonna share a screen here if you want and see here. Okay, so yesterday we have a consolidation, very important one here, and 280, and that with a lot of volume, like 200, 300 million shares traded here. We try to go short on those areas, looking for this breakout down. So of course we have a bias at some moments, and at some moments, if it's very tight, we just jump in and out with a lot of volume taking these spikes, right? So it's about identifying what part of the day you are, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to do a little bit more of that myself. I did actually. I covered my initial. I covered a short off that $3 break, and then just waited for the consolidation to get back in. Just because when the volume's that big, is a good chance you're going to be able to get the short when it comes. But I like that whole notion of you find these consolidation points. Now I like to hold for the move to the downside, but even it's crazy not to take like 5-10 cents when you have direct market access here. Now, of course, I'm sort of with you on the short bias today. I'm actually involved in it right now. do the short sell restriction rules like SSR, does that play into your plans at all? Does it affect the way that you have to trade a name given your style, or do you sort of have ways of handling it that you've adapted to through your years of experience?
Well, you always have ways to handle it, placing offers, but when it comes to important levels that it's gonna break, and you see very, very big bids in order to get a lot of liquidity pools there to jump in the trade, then it's of course a pain in the ass to have the social restriction. I'm gonna lie to you. You can lay in the offer, but it's nice sometimes to jump in the trade, remove liquidity, and breaking important levels with a big size. So those trades, we're going to miss it today on OCGN due to the social restriction, which I think I'm going to be a little bit critic here. It's a little bit stupid regulation because it jumped 300% yesterday. So why, or 200, I don't remember. So why it has social restriction today because it's going down 10%? It makes no sense.
You know what? Look, there's two things I have no problems railing on. If you want to say, if we can talk about it, it's you get the notion of the way stocks will halt, especially in the small cap space when there's plenty of liquidity and the percent moves don't mean much in terms of a notional value. There's that, and then there is this. You're absolutely right. It's 10%. It's actually very calm this morning. This pullback is almost healthy. There's just no reason to put that rule in place when you've had a runner like this, which, if it was down trading at $1 or like 70 cents today after going to 3, okay, fine. I understand you there, but I love that you put that in there. Traders, I'd like to talk about these things.
It's about volume, so it's going down 10%, but it's trading 500 million shares a day. So what's the panic possibility there?
Exactly.
There's no panic possibility.
Yeah, but I mean, we don't write the rules, obviously, so that's what it's all about here. Louis, obviously, we're not going to get a chance to talk to you, but have a very Merry Christmas to you and yours. Thank you for coming on the show. You've been a wonderful guest. Look forward to having you on again in the future, as always, and best of luck trading today. I'll throw you back to Bren.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Louis Barbado. Once again, a pleasure as always. As Neil mentioned, I'll reiterate from all of us here, happy holidays, best to you and yours, and we'll speak to you again next week before the new year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Happy holidays. We have the whole team here. I'm going to show you because we're going to toast with champagne here with you guys live. So there you go.
There we go.
So we got some champagne for you guys. There you go.
Happy holidays, guys. Thank you.
Happy holidays, team. See you later.
Cheers.
Cheers to the Barcelona office. We have our coffees up here as well. Cheers, Louis. Yeah, there's the fireworks as well. Thank you guys for all the support, and we'll see you guys in the new year. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all your traders in the background, Louis. Thank you, my friend. We'll drink some coffee with you.
Mine is almost gone, but I'll get another one.
Louis,
there we go. Louis Barbado from Barcelona, Spain, guys. 15 Celsius in Barcelona today. We're not jealous at all. It's only raining in Toronto. Let's talk about some Alibaba. Is there a trade here this morning, guys? We are kind of trying to make a bottom here. We did discuss a little bit earlier, but let's jump into ideas for Alibaba this morning.
Okay, so, I mean, first things first, welcome everybody. We're not gonna do the likes thing like crazy, but if you turn that little thumb blue, that would be pretty sweet. Or apparently you turn it white if you're on mobile. So we're all wearing our sweaters. Hit the like button for Christmas. Maybe we can get that new record today. Alibaba, look, still 800,000 shares to sell, and we haven't even paired anything off. It's only 853 right now. We still have BFT on the chart. My chart's gonna be, oh great. My chart is frozen here, Neil. But what I wanted to say was, I'll get to the chart in a second, and I'll throw it to Neil in a minute, but there still is 773,000 shares here to sell on Alibaba, and I just think that, with this volume going through 5 million shares, it's $230 as we speak. My level, I love the 220 break, and I don't think I have any charts. Let me go, Neil, give some, some charting right now. I'm going to reload mine because I can't really do this if I can't show levels.
No worries. I got you here. And when I came in today and sort of said, okay, well, Baba's coming back in, are we actually going to be able to talk about like a 210 to 215 area at some point? Now, we're less than 10% away from getting into that range. We're already down that 10. So if there's any extension to this move, I think you already said this, Sean, but I would say patience. And if it comes to picking up more Alibaba, certainly if you see a bigger sell-off in some of the other names, like we talked about JD there and what the Pinduoduo, if you see those start to catch up, then maybe at some point BOBA will find a bit of a floor. Either way, that's what I'll be watching for in terms of a longer-term pick. Now, if we come back to this 235 area, and I was sitting down watching when volume started to pick up around that 235, we come back to that level, and they're just, I mean, a hard rejection. So you come to like 34 to 35, and just there's just no buying up there. Volume starts to dry up. Bids don't extend the move. I think there's a chance for a potential rollover there, and if you break through that, it seems unlikely to me that we're going to go break back upside, but at 35 level certainly seems like that's going to be the first impediment to a move like that. And that's just from watching it on level 2 and seeing the action that was at that price. I was kind of hoping to be able to short that. That was a pipe dream. It was way too early in the morning. I'm not shorting Alibaba before 8 o'clock. It's just a bit much on this stock when it comes to liquidity. But if it gives a shot at 235 again, I'm probably going to be into it unless there's just screaming buyers all over the place.
All right, guys, another one on the watch list here this morning, XL Fleet, a new addition after they completed their SPAC merger back on Monday. Big volume yesterday on this one, 70% to the upside for XL Fleet as well. We had Citron Research out late in the day yesterday saying that they were actually long this company, which is rare for them, but did give them an extra little push late in the day for XL.
I want to say one thing about Citron long, and we forgot to mention this in one of our one of our education segments, and when we did a Peloton video. Citron put a bullish report on Nautilus on September 9th. And if you have a look at what happened between Nautilus relative to Peloton, it ended up being pretty good for Peloton. I'm not, again, this is not throwing shade on Citron or anything like that. It's just, obviously this was a stock that was already making some moves on volume, as you can see. The report comes out. It actually makes a bit of a top at that 35 before coming back in. Now, this is a strong sign here. You gap up, hold the close, and we're essentially testing the pre-market highs already, taking us into that 35 level. So that's showing a heck of a lot of signs of strength. It's actually 34.65 or so is yesterday's top. I think that's worth watching. You can also look at like $1 lower than that for a break, or the 34 even. But the short report itself, I mean, typically you'll see the first day's action can sometimes be reverse of those initial reports, whether it's that they're buying or in this case, or selling, or in this case that they're buying, Sean.
Yep, members talk. We have members talk on Monday. We're going to hit the coming up in a second on that one. So I went long Alibaba here. Yes, it's true. I'm long Alibaba. So we break through 231 there. It's a small position. Try to make or lose maybe $100 here, something like that, just to see if it gets going back to VWAP. It's just, sometimes a lot of the pressure gets relieved. This is just a 3-minute chart down here. I can actually call up volume, put on some volume here. It's pretty easy with our charts. You go down, we have different settings here, and push apply, then push OK. So what I was going to show you guys here is that we did have some volume spikes just right here, down 229, 230, heading back to the north side a little bit. So this is a 3-minute chart. And again, I'm just going to give this back down to the bottom. So like I said, it's not going to be a huge amount of risk here. This is just something that I just want to see if we can retest back up here, 230, 234 in change. We can go back to a 1-minute chart here on Alibaba. And look, it's not like I'm optimistic to buy this stock down, like me and Neil keep talking, 225, 220, something like that. I think it could get there in the next couple of days. I just want to see, do we bounce a little bit, guys? Up here to 234 and change. Do we test VWAP? And I just think that it's more of a chance, I believe anyways, that there's some buying that comes in rather than breaking this bottom in the pre-market. So we could break the bottom right when the market opens up. I'm just trying to see if I can scalp a couple dollars right now off of this. And then if not, then we'll dump it and we'll get ready to explode on this stock once it does open up. But right now, we'll watch the volume and we'll keep our eye on the imbalance locator. It's still, this is another thing. It's only 9 o'clock, but nothing's really being paired off here on anything. So it's not going to be a very active day. So here we go. Oh, now all of a sudden I'm in the money on Alibaba. So let's just see what happens, man. 231.05. We could take it out now for 30 cents. We don't want that. There's already, hey, what was that? We already have the light guy. There he is. Hey, what's up, buddy? You can see a little delayed 1K already. I think we can go 4X on that today, but we'll see if we get there, Brendan. Give us something else.
Sean, you want to talk about XL Fleet here, or should we move on to?
No, I mean Neil covered a couple
Okay.
levels there, but I mean, what was yesterday's high? 34, 35. You're going to look at this level 33. This is just a 1 minute chart, so I would say, yeah, it's this 35 level that you watch out for. Neil's right about Citron comes out right here. Then you start seeing the volume coming, and you know the name was relatively sleepy. Yes, I mean, look, it's been a huge move. Don't get me wrong, but we were starting to fade back down, right? I mean, we touched 28.50, and then we bounced off 23 before exploding on that Citron report. So I would say there's still some love for this thing, man. 34 and a quarter, maybe along.
Good stuff. Let's bring in Arun here. We'll talk about the overall market as we head in towards this holiday shortened session. Again, closing at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Arun, what do we need to be aware of today?
You know, today's one of those slow days, right? Expected to be slow. It is going to be slow. Yesterday, we got that high volatile event I was mentioning. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday. It may have been undone on Tuesday, but there was, again, Wednesday was the big day. We had that huge sell-off at their end yesterday, and that was it. I think with that, the volume is gone. So in terms of the futures, I know there's a bunch of stocks with news on them. That's always going to happen. The individual stocks will have catalysts that will push them into volatility and volume. But in terms of the broad market, I'm not expecting a whole lot. Again, 37.25 on the top end. We still have that level from last week, and 36.45. That's a big range, and there's nothing in the middle. So, you know, on a day like today, I'm just going to be sitting here. And I'm not expecting to trade. The only reason I'm actually even in front of my screen is because the market's actually open for a certain amount of time during the day. So as a trader, you want to just be available for the potential of a setup or some sort of catalyst that may happen. You don't want to be gone away from your screen and something comes out, some news comes out, and there presents an opportunity that you miss. So the only reason I'm here is just for that potential, but I'm not expecting to make a trade today. But if something like that happens, I'll be available to actually take a shot. But again, we have two wide ranges, and in between, I'm doing a whole lot of nothing. And I'll just catch up on some shows in the meantime, unless it's an opportunity that presents itself.
So it gives you a little bit of an insight into how things traded during the session as well, which going forward in the next couple of days could come into play once again. So very good point. Arun, happy holidays to you and yours. We will speak to you again next week.
Absolutely. Happy holidays, guys.
There we go, guys. Little look at the futures as we head towards the open here. If you are just joining us or joining us for the first time, welcome, first of all. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe to this channel, guys. We are going through the Morning Movers watch list. We send it out every single morning to your inbox. Talks about all the stocks with fresh news or some sort of catalyst moving around in the pre-market. That is this morning's watch list. If you have not done so already, make sure you get that out and open it up, because we are making our way through the watch list this morning. The next one on the list is this one right here. Sean's new favorite SPAC, STIC, Northern Star Acquisition, which is going to become BarkBox. Sean, talk about that one.
Yeah, I love BarkBox. Look, we talked about this. I've been pounding the pavement on this with you guys since $12. We come in today. We touch as high as $17.50. I don't know if this was real or not. $17.80. It looks like it was. It's on. Oh yeah, earlier on it was actually up here. I don't have my charts going back past 8 o'clock, or 7:30. So yeah, look, 17 and change. This is going to be BarkBox, bark.com, and their subscription service. I love the name. I love the space. We talk everything pets. And yeah, just going to keep going higher and higher is what I think anyways. We did have that touch up to $17.50 before. I've been buying it down here. I'm actually in right around here, and I have been buying some more in this little level here. So my average price, something around $13.50, maybe a little bit lower than that. This is when I was yelling, you guys remember, at my broker because they didn't have it listed, and then they got it, and I got shares, I think $12.83 or something. But look, I mean, we saw what Chewy can do. I mean, I don't know if I can do anything other than this. Just show you what Chewy's chart looks like, especially if we're going to have a daily chart. There's really no levels on any of these stocks right now, but this is Chewy's daily chart. And yeah, I was the same kind of investor on the IPO for Chewy. Obviously, this is not a direct listing. This is a SPAC, so it's coming a little differently. I think it's a good time to get in. Pets are just so super hot right now. We saw with General Mills selling Blue Buffalo, and now you're seeing Bark coming through with STIC. And look, I don't know where it's going to go. Just like any of these SPACs, I have an order to get out if we break above 20 at some point today, because I think it's worth taking about 70% in a couple days, I think is a good return. So we'll take that, but I'm a long-term holder of STIC, and I do also like, I'm still, look, it's only 200,000 shares. I still think a lot of people don't know about this stock, so I don't think it's too late to get in. And then here's my other one, PaySafe, which is BFT here. I like this one as well, and we're long this name, but we're long this name in the 12. Actually, it's about the same price, $12, $13 for BFT as STIC. I love both of these. Both these SPACs, I think, need to be put into your swing accounts if you guys are looking to make some money off of any of these plays. I think you can get it now. I don't think it's too late, but you are going to be paying a premium when you come in STICs at 15%, and then BFT here, fully transamine. Also at 2.37. Look, I did want to address this one because we always try to hit our super chats, right? Do I think Baba's long investment account? Yes. I think you could start it right now. And again, the reason why is you do have, thank you for that super chat, by the way. Okay, so we're going to get out. I just tweeted this out. If this breaks 228, which is the day's low, we'll get out. I said we were just trying to swing a little bit here and scalp this off. This is the level, man. If anyone's asking right now, 220, I really like this level. It goes back a little bit. We bounced off 220 a whole bunch of times. January, March again, and then again here in June before dipping to the 50-period moving average and then taking off. Look, we knew we were in a little bit of trouble right here when we broke the 50-period, but I started buying right in here off of these levels, and then today we get that news. So we weren't in trouble until today. And now I think it gives us a good opportunity to buy down here. This is another thing about Alibaba that I want to bring to everyone's attention. So March was horrible, right? Like I could throw up Square, went to $35, it's now at $240. Apple went to $221, it's now like at $500 or more than that. Tesla went to, what was it, $50, now at $650. Look what Alibaba did. It only dipped, guys, to $179 was the worst part in March. If that doesn't give you like some kind of solace to say, like, you know what, Alibaba has a huge strong base, and like most stocks just got clobbered at this time. Alibaba didn't. So to me, it still can remain strong. It's in China. You are going to have some political movement on this, and I don't know, man. I've never dealt with the CCP personally, and he felt the wrath of what the Chinese government will do to some of these names. But if you're asking me if Alibaba is a good investment at this level, then my answer is going to be yes all day long.
Yeah, where I got that 225 is you looked at that bottom at that 179, call it 180. You tack that 25%. That would be 25% off of those lows to put in a lower high. I mean, it's just one of those psychological things, and sometimes they hold up, and we might get there today. I mean, I don't for the day trade, I still like it to the short side. The only thing I want to say about BarkBox is how dare you not try to include North Star back in the name so I can make a fist of the North Star reference. Now I can't, but I can say Avengers Disassemble. I don't know if this will, I think this is near the bottom of our list. Actually, I don't think AVGR made it to our list today, but you're going to see me in this penny stock. Luis mentioned it. I know they'd like to trade some of the ones that are still running to the upside or above $1, so you can make a little more rebates on them for sure by adding liquidity. I like the fact that if it's a penny stock and it can't get above, it shows way more signs of weakness, a lot easier to short. This one already passed sort of the first target that I had. I didn't think if it broke 60 cents here, I'm literally short at 68, get that 10% return. And now I'm just hanging on for dear life to the final third, thinking maybe it's going to go anywhere close to 35, the previous close. As far as OCGN goes, there is a buyer at 215. There's no question about it. I'm covering and scalping this for like 5-10 cent wins. I'm going to add if 215 goes. It's showing some signs of strength again, obviously not nearly what it was yesterday. And like we said, short sell restricted, so I cannot hit that bid at 215. Going to have to hope to get lucky if it breaks there, Bren.
We were looking at Nikola yesterday, guys. They lost the contract with Republic Services Incorporated to make a whole bunch of garbage trucks for them. I think it was 2,500 was that actual number for the garbage trucks. So that contract is dead. They also came out aftermarket yesterday and gave a little bit of a teaser to a prototype for their transport truck, their semi-truck, which gave them a little bit of a boost. But Nikola, we are higher here, or at least last time I checked for Nikola. Yeah, about 1% to the upside for Nikola so far. But big move down yesterday. Ended up being really not much of anything. We sat on 15 for the entire session. It's above that once again here today.
Yeah, still sitting on that same 15 level. So, I mean, it's probably going to be a little bit obvious to say. I think if it breaks it, you take a shot at it for a day trade shorting. for sure. We've seen Nikola do this in the past where it holds this next level and then makes a bit of a break to the upside with a bit of a squeeze play going on there. This just reminded me to make sure I get my locates. Only a cent a share for us here at Day Trade the World, so good luck, good fortune for us on that point. If it does squeeze to the upside, you know, I'd look to see this like 1560 area, only 40 pennies higher. You can look at the pre-market tops. I'd probably be looking at like a 1560 just to be sure that it's really going. There's a bit of a gap to fill, obviously. I'm going to favor the short side trade, but you know I've seen day 2, day 3 where Nikola catches the bounce anyways. And 15, like you said, Brendan, that was a strong defense of that price on Nikola all day since the open. So if it does the same today, you can't be too surprised. I'll try to get the break if we can.
Yeah, I'm just going to get some pay for shorts on this one as well, guys. And that's the other thing. Make sure that you talk to your broker about anything that you... Oh, God, my daily chart's not working now. Okay, here it is. This is Nikola again. Yesterday, we had some beautiful shorts, and we took them in the pre-market. They were right in here, 1540, 1530. We cashed them all out right here at 15 when we noticed there was a buyer. So, yeah, I think today that buyer probably gets cracked. It doesn't matter. I can scroll down to... Nah, I can't see that far. It doesn't matter if he's there now. We'll see what happens when the market does open. But watch out for a 1550 break, just in case. The high yesterday was 1560. But, yeah, I'm going to be pounding this to the short side, breaking 15. We're going to try to get those shares. It should be okay. It's still going to be short sale restricted, I think, from yesterday, but we'll wait to see if we can short that on the break. We will be shorting it. We did try yesterday on that short before it resisted back to the upside. So 15 on the short side, yes. I'm also joining OCGN right now as we've just that was a keystroke there, so I got back in. But right now, a couple shorts playing off 250 on OCGN. And BOVESPA, guys, here it goes. So as soon as this breaks 228 and change, we're going to be out. So we tried it for a quick scalp. Now it's just continuing to go down. So watch out for this 228 break. It'll just be a small cut, but we tried it and we explained why. So Alibaba to the downside right now, guys.
All right, on the other side of the scenario here this morning, Lordstown again today, guys. Ride, we've been talking about it the past couple of days. Very strong, quietly strong, in fact. Had a 4.5% move to the upside yesterday. This is kind of the one in the group that has been lingering in the background. Analysts are kind of pointing to the fact that it has lagged the rest of the group as it's made its move to the upside, so maybe a little bit of catch up. But 4.5% to the upside again today. We're just below this 24 where it touched yesterday for Ride. Yeah,
I mean, think of this stock, and when this stock goes up, it makes me think of a certain Sierra song, You Lucky Bugger, Russell Wilson. I hate that guy. He's awesome. But anyways, I'm looking at yesterday's tops. It's sort of going to stand out like a sore thumb. And this, as much as you can say under the radar, you know, certainly that was the case, but it's been a big move off of the bottom here. Ultimately, you know, you're clocking in at about 650, so it's, you know, in that 35% range in the last couple of days, just this week, sorry. And you're already breaking past, you just go back to the beginning of the month here, this 24 level. There was a bit of a break there. It was a fail. Now you're looking at 24.20, so 420, whatever. We can make all the jokes we want. That is the high from yesterday. That is the breakout price I'm looking for today. It'll be 24.20. Normally I'd be thinking about, you know, the gap, multi-day run, roll over into the short here. I'm already in like 3 short positions, and I have a couple of other stocks that I want to do that on, so I'm probably not going to pick on Lordstown, not in the midst of this run. Maybe it is a bit of a pullback day today. Sometimes you might see a lack of continuation on moves, but remember something that Arun's been saying all week. A lot of times you get volume in the morning, and that first half an hour on some of these symbols is the best shot, and then that's it. So if there's a chance to get an early break where you just sort of get in and out, one and done, you can always play the short after that, maybe when volume dies down and it comes back in. So my first look is 24.20 long on Lordstown. That's probably the only trade I will have off the open. I'm not looking for the short.
XL, a lot of talk here about XL. Okay, yeah, so first of all, I'm just going to talk about all these super chats. I didn't even really look at them. I hope they're okay. TTV hoodie on beer in my hand, Ride in my account. Let's go, Marlon. Thank you so much for that. Happy holidays to you and yours as well. Happy holidays to Flying Disc. Yeah, we don't want... Oh, my daughter wrote a note on my front door and gave my security password to Santa Claus and posted it on my front door because we don't have a chimney. So she wants him to come through the front door and gave them the security alarm code. So we had to take that down. And then again from Marlon, thank you so much. Happy Festivus to the rest of us. Love you all. We love you straight back. It's going to be a Merry Christmas no matter what today brings. And it should be a good day for all of us here at Trader TV Live. And I want to give a happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody out there as well. It's only 9:13 right now. We're looking at Nicola. I see this big level here on OCG Ed. I'm looking to get short again if we break this 215, and then more short as we come up to 250. Watching OCGN and watching Alibaba right now, Brendan.
All right, guys, let's go to the big banks. They've been strong all week long after we got news aftermarket on Friday. In fact, the Fed's stress test results came out on Friday better than expected. They also announced that buybacks were back on the table for Q1 of next year. Since then, all of them have been really strong. Including JP Morgan kind of leading the way yesterday. We saw a big move to the upside. Positive again today, guys, for most of these.
Just the major ones anyways. I mean, the funny thing about this is we talked about this on the show, which was, and even with Mark, before that run-up after market, the stress tests were known they were going to come. We mentioned the fact that there was speculation that there was likely to be 2 tiers of banks, the good ones, that would be able to go back to somewhat normal. I mean, it's not smooth sailing in terms of no restrictions whatsoever, but only the big and profitable banks can take advantage of the buybacks and, of course, dividends based on percentage of profitability, yada, yada, yada. So it's JP that you're looking at, Morgan Stanley. Wells, I actually missed on. Today, I sort of feel like, and, you know, I was looking at 125 even. And that was going to be like, okay, if we can retrace off this level and you catch a long off of 125, go for it. We're up at like a 128 here, so I don't know that I want to buy and risk like 75 pennies. I'm not sure there's going to be that much volatility in the market today to make it worth like that 75 plus slippage risk, because then you think you're probably running to like, you know, a 127.50 and work it out from there to a 130. So if I get a chance to maybe base out at 125, that'd be fantastic. And then if we do actually dip back and pull back, I'd be looking at this level right here on JP Morgan, 123.75. If there is a bit of a dip, that's the first level I'd look to defend. I
mean, here's another stock. I mean, you just went over JP Morgan. I've been loving JP Morgan for a long time, and we do feel like Superman on these calls because, again, I keep talking about the same thing over and over again, but we're long this thing well into the money now. We're long like sub 100, 90, 95. Was picking this up in March like hand over fist. I'm a value investor, as you guys know, besides some of these SPACs, but I put the real money into these plays, and man, what a return this has been, and I'm not getting out of anything JP Morgan. I think it makes a lot of sense right now in the rate environment that's there with the reopen of the economy. JP Morgan just makes sense and it works, and you could see that it's been working for a while, including yesterday, kaboom, up there. Then you get Brexit talk as well. I believe that helping the stock. So guess what? I'm a 126 break today. I mean, I wrote it down right here on the sticky notes that all of you guys always want to see. Where is it? There it is. JP Morgan, Square, Palantir, STIC, and BFT all up on there. So I like a break of 126, but again, we could check in on the imbalance locator. I don't think there's really going to be too much there. Oh, yes, BFT, I see you. Oh, here we go. All my stocks, BFT, STIC, Palantir, all here for the buys. We will get to Palantir in a minute, but why not trade WFC? I mean, we talk about it being the worst name. I think it's the worst name to own, but maybe one of the best names to trade because of the fact that, hey, look, it's lower priced, right? So it does get a little more volume sometimes and a little bigger shares going through. So you got to watch WFC today. We may be in for a pullback, guys. From 29 yesterday up to 30.50. It's a little bit of a big run for some of these banks. You don't normally see the banks move 6 or 7%. So we're just going to watch the pin action on some of these names. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and JP Morgan would all be my choice.
Interesting story on Square out this morning. It was actually aftermarket yesterday, but we're seeing a bit of a reaction here in the morning for Square. Higher in the pre-market here. We had a big move to the downside yesterday. Square reportedly, and Jack Dorsey in talks with Tidal, Jay-Z's Tidal music service on a possible merger or acquisition. The source was not revealed for this story, but they also did say that discussions, yes, are ongoing, and they could result in absolutely nothing happening. But interesting story here for Square, guys.
I mean, the music business is hot, as you guys know. Streaming is crazy. You see what Spotify's been doing. I mean, I think they're probably overextending like Square into streaming, into music and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly what the point of that is, but I do know that Jack Dorsey and all these guys, pretty smart guys involved in this. I mean, this was a big move down there yesterday from 246 all the way down to 230 and change. So I actually don't remember or don't even recall what this move was all about there. But now today we're trying to make some of that back. I'm going to look into that, why we dropped from all-time highs yesterday all the way down back into this level. But I do like, I was on my sticky note there, 235 break on Square. I've been buying this thing again in the COVID times. We do like Square, and I think it's worth it today. Definitely a shot. My largest, I don't know if you guys remember, but my largest trade in a while was this 180 break back when Square had earnings, and we crushed. That was like the biggest risk spot that I had. I think it was all of November was right there when Square reported, and I'm actually a buyer of Square down in here as well back in March. So what a big run this up's been. Like $200, Neil, back December 1st, up to 240, 10%, 20% there in a matter of 2 weeks for this behemoth. I think it's probably overdone to the downside, but again, I need to find out what that story was yesterday. My memory not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I don't know if you're buying on this rumor. You're just sort of, in stock, you're buying on real dips. And I think if you play the patience game, there have been some like 10, 15%ers that have been put in, a little bit more than that, and then it's just climbed right back to the upside. The only thing I was looking at, I mean, Sean, the same thing as you. If you put up the, actually let's go to the 15. If you look at that 235, it's just going to stand out. After the drop, it was a clear top that we couldn't get through. I mean, it ticked above, got like 10, 15 cents, maybe 20, and then came right back down. So you're looking for that breakout today. And it's probably a little easier to control risk on this style of a break. You have hard support at 230. Even if you want to go a little bit tighter than that, you just throw something like a 230, 250 or a 233. And then you don't even, a modest gap fill is going to get you a nice return on that 35 break in Square.
Fuel cell, we talked about it briefly with Lewis earlier on, but F-Cell back on watch this morning. Big move yesterday on volume as well. It was one of those ones that was doing higher than normal relative volume throughout the session. We had Congress including provisions in the COVID relief package to include some clean energy stimulus and money towards this group again as well. So F-Cell, the big one today.
It's worth noting when it comes to the stimulus bill, of course, it was the criticism of it, not enough in terms of the checks, 2,000 instead of 600. And what was not criticized was actually some of the clean energy funding that's in that bill. So that's a definite positive here. So it's likely not to get touched. It's a positive for these names in particular. I actually thought today, and candidly I said it to you, Brennan, I thought maybe FCL will be the day that it would come down. Today, we're going to get this test of yesterday's high probably a little bit sooner than I was anticipating. 13, I mean, it got very, very close to 14 even, so you might as well just call it that, but it was 13.92, I think it was. We're getting that test literally right now. With about 10 minutes to go until the open, it might put the pedal to the metal. I hate that notion of, on a stock like this in particular, of short in front of that top and then reverse into a long, because if you do that at 9:30, it's worked okay with the vaccine plays when they're just gapping on news. When you have a multi-day runner, I find I get burned when I do that. So I'm going to stay away from the short in front of it. I'll take the long break if it goes at 14, and then maybe just have a tighter than normal stop, maybe to like a 65 or maybe like a 75 area, that kind of a play to the long side, and then just try to be patient with the short. Because if this does come back, obviously it's got some room to run. I thought it was going to be a short play today. It's positive news that it wasn't included in what was criticized in that bill, which has not gone through yet. But when it does, it seems like it's not controversial whether the clean energy subsidies and benefits will still be there.
Okay, I did want to quickly thank, I'm going to try to do this as much as we can. Merry Christmas to our fellow Canadian in Toronto, Trader Amin. Thank you so much for that $10 and a happy holidays to you as well. And thank you for all you do. Merry Christmas. Pasang Sherpa, thank you guys for everything. You know, we do the show for you, and we're just glad that you're following along and hopefully able to learn. Look, it's not about making money. I see everyone saying here, oh, I've made so much money on this and on that. It's great, but really every day is a learning opportunity, and there's always going to be money to be made trade, like if you miss the Tesla trade, there's something else. If you miss FSEL, there's something else. I'm not going to miss FSEL breaking through 14. I already have the order in. So there it is. What up, Randy Turner? The man, the myth, the legend continues. Learned so much from this show. Here's a drop in the bucket. Well, thank you. Hey, Randy, look, a drop in the bucket for someone is, riches for someone else. So thank you, Mr. Randy Turner. You have been a big supporter of the show, and we thank all of you for that. Hopefully today the Grinch can be a happy Grinch and give some money back to us as we go today. I'm going to be like the Grinch at the end of the movie, where we go and we have the wild beast and we have a nice little dinner and a celebratory. Although I love my parents and my family, but we will not be celebrating Christmas with them because we're already in lockdown here in Toronto. But I am dropping off gifts and baked goods and whatnot to the family. So yeah, it's sad, but we'll keep going on. But no Grinch. Keep the spirits up, guys. 2021 around the corner.
Yeah, it is a 2020 Christmas incoming, definitely. Let's talk about Foresight Autonomous, guys. We mentioned it with Lewis as well, but big mover yesterday. We can just go right to the chart here, and I'll show you this. Big mover yesterday did give you that afternoon push as well, up to 650. Coming off significantly, although we're right at $5 here, which was the first resistance point for this thing. So kind of want to see it move either direction away from $5. Really no significant news or catalyst on this again today. However, as we said, in that right space at the right time kind of thing.
And this is the week where you sort of you get the holiday week trading. You sort of think about the names that are already in hype industries and are maybe catching some tailwinds from other movers. This is the name that's on my list, and again, I actually might have been in position in FRSX already, if not for OCGN. It's very similar in terms of sort of gapping down. It's down that 10%, but the move was so big yesterday that it's really a bit of a drop in the bucket, and we're holding lower than the previous that previous high. Now, if it's below $5. Previous close. If it's below $5, I'm sort of with Brennan. That's when I'll get interested in it. Where I was willing to fade OCGN in front of current highs, I'm going to sort of let FRSX weed itself out. If it makes a test of 540 to the top side, I'd look for not the high of the day, but 6 for rollover, anticipating a lower high. And if that gets put in, that's another way to get in. OCGN is. I'm going to scalp out of this one, so you will see some profit taking in the 5-10 cent range because there's still that buyer at 215 which has to break. So I want to make sure I'm making some money inside of the range. I would do the same thing if I was shorting FRSX here, but its volume is actually pretty good, 5 million shares. The liquidity is solid, but yesterday it was so much better in OCGN that's where I've decided to put the trades on.
What's up, Brad?
All right, guys, let's talk AIM Immunotech. One more little one to get to. This is COVID-related news today. They have a antigen test that they have gotten approval for that's going to be rolled out over the next coming days. So not a huge move here, already making its way back down to $2, which is basically where we were yesterday. Just wanted to point out 250. If you go out to the daily chart, big level up at 250. So one of those, if we get any kind of move up into 240, 250, should be worth a visit for AIM Immunotech with COVID news today, guys.
All right, I'm just building a position. Thanks, Brendan. I'm just trying to build a little bit of a base here to see what's going to happen on Square. Brendan, there was a few, I asked Brendan what was going on yesterday, a few downgrades. We saw Bitcoin go down, but I don't think that there's anything related. I know Square's with Bitcoin, but I'm not going to hold too much faith in that play. We will go long on a 235 break. More importantly, maybe 235.30, which was this top, but to get specific, you can get 235.11s or 10s. Or just take a 235, but I do have bids in this area for a gap down retracement back, and then a break of 230 will be our out. So we do have some warning shots here on a Square to go if that does happen. We're in OCGN as well. I like FSEL to break the bottom. We're waiting for Alibaba. That looks like that will probably break anytime soon. And quick check back here on the board. And yeah, now there's no more Alibaba. It's getting paired off. So that's probably what that move down right now is. I'm still going to, here, let's call it up. I'm still going to get out. There we go. I should be out soon on a 228 break. I don't know what happened there. But there we go. We should my order's not going out, so we should have been going out. We should have got out there on a 228 break. So let me figure out what's going on with that. But that was my level, and it looks like we just broke it. But right now, Alibaba looking here for 250,000 shares to sell now. Bank of America, some of the banks getting lit up right now as well. Palantir, look, not too much interest on the opening bell here today, Neil. Looks
I'm just going to quickly throw one name from, it's been good this week. It's only 3% mover today, C3AI, but the last couple of days, it's been a fantastic stock for us here in terms of the short. I anticipated a rollover in the morning, and then it was just a strong buy the rest of the day. But that's the short that we had off of the 170. I only got half the move because I didn't have enough conviction, I guess. I didn't think it would go to 150. I thought 150 was a buying opportunity. It just went too fast. I'm looking at 160, maybe if that can hold up on any kind of a dip. The level, instead of 172 to 175, I'm now looking at 170 to 172. Into that range, I'm looking to fade it first and then break out to the upside if it goes past that 72 range. This is a trade I want after the open, not before, because C3AI liquidity, man, it's hard to get some of those breaks. It's not always the best liquidity on the initial break, but there's certainly, when it goes, there's just absolutely no stopping it. I'm going to start cracking up in a bit because we have a special treat for you on the bell, and we got about a minute to go till that. I do want to update. Go ahead.
Just because Randy Turner gave a pretty sick super chat there, and then he asked us to show the NASDAQ imbalance. So Randy, boom, there it is. So for you here, naked here, JAGX, FCEL, SNDL. I'll keep it up here for a quick second. This is what it is right now for you, Randy Turner. Thank you again for the super chat, and we'll hook you up there on that. So this is what it looks like right now. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Neil.
No worries. For sure, look, if you guys get the super chat, that's why it grabs our attention. That's what we want to do for you. Anyways, I was just going to tell you guys we have a bit of a surprise coming in 30 seconds. But just very, very quickly, if I can, do not forget, I'm looking at Alibaba 225. It's already bouncing now. I was kind of hoping to sell into it, but if 235 comes up, we're going to be all over 225 for a bit of a dip. It is, of course, Christmas Eve. The market is a half day today, but we're going to be trading it anyways like normal. Let's drop that countdown. And our resident clown, goof, whatever you want to call him, Rob, we love you, buddy. 4, 3, 2, and 1. He does a great job in our production crew. And he's decked to the nines, and obviously, don't hurt yourself on the way back down. That OCGN is immediately going to be testing 215, guys. So I already have scalped a bunch out in front of 215. I'm adding to this position on a break. BABA 225 is coming into play rather quickly as well, but already a bit of a backflip here. And there's OCGN. Oh, no ad whatsoever. It's short sell restricted. What did I say? We cannot hit the bid. So I wanted to add to my position. I only have half left. I'm just sitting there like a chump. I'll definitely scalp some out on the way down to $2, but OCGN was great yesterday, already good today, guys.
Yeah, loving OCGN. We get some more shares there as well for a nice little win there. Our Alibaba does come out. We talked about that. It does break that 227, 220 area where we were trying to get at 228. So Alibaba does come out. Shoot, we're still on a 3-minute chart here. We're watching OCGN. We're into Square now on that 235 break. So here goes Square. Let's see if it wants to continue to the upside. This is where we're long on Square right now, 235. Going to give this some room. So I think this is a good possibility to retrace back to yesterday's high, guys. Alibaba downside. I need to get back into this one, though, at some point, guys.
Yeah, and very, very quickly, I mean, Sean already mentioned Square, so that long did come in. C3AI, no real move here. It's just coming back into that 170. This is what I want to fade, guys. If it does make a strong push, 172 is my out, but I want to short at that 170 or at least close to it. Not going to take it too far away. This spread on Square, I just saw like 50, 60 cents. I'll let that one cool down before we get too involved. I do still have that AVGR, but it bounced back up here. If it holds 65, 66, I'm going to roll into more shares to the south side as long as we can. Missed the 225 bounce on BABA, 226.28. Now it's testing 230 again. Man, that was the price I liked. I gave you the reasons why. I just didn't have a bid off the open to catch that bounce.
Yep. I don't know. My orders here are getting stuck. I don't know. There's something like wrong with my system today, it seems like, as we're trying to get in and out of some of these trades. Okay, we're fine. All right, so Square long now still right here. You can join the party if you did want to, but we are watching this market. Look at it just exploding to the upside right now on the NQs. So Square pulling back in. Maybe this isn't great news like we thought. We're going to wait for 230 to come through. I mean, hopefully that doesn't come through, but we are waiting for that. So we're going to wait for Square to happen. XL, guys. guys, taking off as well right now, $34. Oh, it did break already 35. It trusts 36. Now it's making a move back to the upside. XL Fleet on the move as well. NEO starting to build. Look at this drop on NEO right here. We have another bid downside on this name. We can go to a 3-minute chart on this. We're going to build it until about 45 down here. 45.80, 45.50 on NEO is our go spot there, but we're long right now, 46.11. What's up, B?
That's back from yesterday, starting to go again. Colonnade, guys, remember that CLA, I guess it was 2 days ago. We were talking about it yesterday as well, though. 6.8% here for Colonnade. Remember, this is another Ladar company. They're taking Ouster public through a merger, guys, for CLA.
How are we ever going to forget Colonnade? It's just such a fantastic name. Now, I tried this on the AI, the liquidity. It is what it is. It broke into that 170 range. It tested 72, failed break. I tried to get it on the way down. I did not get into position, so pie in my face. Avenger is right back here, guys. I said if it made a test of this 70-year, I'd get back into some more shares, but it is just screaming to the upside. Now, there was consolidation at 72, so there's really no worry till it gets to that price. But if you're going to go with tighter stops, that means I am not adding to this position until it slows down or rolls over. Not going to get caught in a halt here because that was just like a 20% move off of the open. If it extends that any further and breaks to the high, you're probably going to watch out for a halt. It just turned now, so I feel comfortable taking more shares from 67 to 70, using that 70 to 72 as my out here in Avenger.
All right, guys, we have, okay, we'll go to Brandon in a second. NEO with a nice little move to the upside. Look, we did it exactly. We played this thing like a fiddle today and just hammer that. We always love these dips in NEO, and there it is, guys. 46.11, bang, 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 making that money back. Let's go, Brandon.
Sorrento Therapeutics, guys, just had a big volume spike here at the open for SRNE. It did actually sell off, so we're down to 810. It did bounce at that point, though, but they submitted for approval their COVID Sticks product, which is a oral COVID-19 test kit, guys.
Test kit, you say? Okay. We're going to average in a little bit here to square. Look, lots of names. And that's what Brendan brings us, guys. The hot fire. OCGN, NEO cracking $2. Obviously, we all have that. The cash cow on the floor today is OCGN. Let go.
Sean, 15 is about to break on Nikola here. Now, remember, this is, again, short sell restricted, so we'll see if we can get shares on the break. I'm definitely going to – I have a stop, but I'm also going to try a manual order just in case I don't get the fill. OCGN is absolutely cratering, so you're going to see probably – it's just – accelerating to 175 potentially, which is definitely a level. But my eyes are peeled because I don't want to miss the Nikola short. If we do get this 15 break, I want to make sure we can get into that one on the break. I still have a stop, but I want to go manual if I have to.
Guys, Merry Christmas to anybody on NEO. Like, that was a great trade. And obviously a Merry Christmas as well to anybody on OCGN. Look at that outs, guys. 83s down there. Wow. Okay, we did average into square right now. We just took another piece right here. I'm going to try to go small, averaging into this one all the way down and just see if we can't defend this 230 level. I realize this is not normally how we trade on the show, but we're not using too many shares today. It is going to be a half day, remember, in the market. So let's let this one see if we can slide a little bit higher. Some bids down here at 230, 250. Just trying to defend this 230. We'll see if we can hold it a little bit longer today, longer than usual here. So try to get some more long here, 230, 250. But everything making that money right now. NEO, good outs. We didn't get the ultimate out at 60, but bunch of outs there at 50. So here it comes crashing back down, guys. Watch this market. Really elevated there off the open. Yeah,
it's going to be pie on my face. Just got into Nikola, but C3AI, look, the rollover was the plan. Liquidity is a problem, and I had missed trades in the past on this one. But Nikola on the break, I did get 91s I paid down to, so I do have the Nikola short. Again, it's already made a bit of a flush, but that's only about like 20, 30 cents. There's certainly room to run. Let's just see how far it can go. I will definitely give this one back into this flush point at the open, at least at 15.25 mark. That Avenger, if it breaks 72, I'm going to be out of it and then try to get back in. Sorry, 72 half. It's already been a good one this morning, but you don't want to throw away that OCGN profit, which is coming back to $2. I might have to get back into that one.
It's coming back to $2 already? Okay. Yeah, we'll have to look at that as well. Square is starting to go now. So, yeah, this day, guys, this day. About to get like this soon, I have a feeling. Okay, Nikola, we took some big shares there, short 92s. Let's see if we can win on this one. Do I have a downside look on Nikola? Nah, not really. We'll just wait on how far this can go. I believe right now, we can check, I can ask Brendan, but we'll just check the chart right here. This probably its all-time low here. Yeah, I mean, since it's become Nikola, obviously there was VTIQ, but there goes Nikola to the downside, and we've got some nice shares on this one. The win just keeps coming in on Nikola. We called this one off the open. And yes, sir, big trade alert on Nikola. Give it, Brent.
Yeah, another one moving here, guys, this morning. IPOC, which is Social Capital's third SPAC. This is Clover Health, or going to be Clover Health, once the merger deal is complete. But big volume spike there at the open for this one, trying to get back up to 15. Tagged 15 yesterday, guys.
All right, so just in and out of a little reversal that 72 area on AVGR. So we're gonna go with Yeehaw because we came out of Brennan to a winning stock. If it tests a high, this is like an 82 top. If it gets back up there, I'm definitely gonna have a look at it. That Nikola, I've taken a couple of legs out of this Nikola short, and look, ultimately, it's not that there's levels. I'll just continue to work it every like 25 cents or so until I have. Oh, actually, right now I got half the position left. Start thinking about 14.25, 14 even is the obvious levels. 14.50 hasn't even broken yet, so there's nothing down here. It's not like you're going to be able to go back in the past and say this is where Nikola is going to bounce. You're at fresh lows right now, so just sort of ride this party. It is short sell restricted, so some people are waiting for an uptick to get into it.
Yeah, I mean, look at these outs. I only took 2 outs right now. There's another one, 55, like bang, 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 3 outs there. Like I said, took a decent position on it, so we're able to do that. We're able to get out now pieces, right? Bang, 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 all the way down. We just tweeted that one out for Nikola. So right now, guys, everything's kosher, as far as I'm concerned right here. We have that 10% left on NEO. Sorry, 20% left on NEO now. 20, 40, 60, 80% out. Let's give this one right to that bottom wick, 45.93 there. If we have to drop it off and lose 15 pennies on the last, that's no problem. This is what you do, guys. You got to risk manage. OCGN, I can't believe the outs that we had on that one. We are very light on this stock now. Great trading on OCGN, and Nikola just continues, guys, to cash out right now and cash in on Nikola. 44s now, 45s. I mean, like Neil said, there is no bottom to this name. Nikola, see ya.
Yeah, and Square is starting to come back. I had a 232.50 area. I like this 250 if you don't want to use $5 as a stop there. I think something we actually mentioned a little bit. But OCG, and I want to go back here because it talked about it bouncing. Bounced off 180. I had a couple of legs, got a bunch out in front of 990, a bunch out in front of 80. You should know by now that we're going to do that. When the move extends, I go from like 5 cents to 10 cent targets. But if it can hold below VWAP here, this 210, and then the flush point was 215. Remember, the buyer at 215. I'm now trying to short it off of that 215 level. So back in, it's a new position alert here. Well, we already had OCGN, but it's a new trade, let's just say. Brendan, what's up?
A couple from the downgrade side of things today. Space, first off, guys, Virgin Galactic down 3.25%. Broke 26 there. Got an alert go off at 26 for Space. Also, I saw Baidu on that list as well. Baidu, volume to the downside as well, guys.
Okay, so Nikola just keeps going. We're just getting some pieces out. And look what Square does, guys. It goes all the way back. Huge for us. Not huge. I mean, we were back into the money 50 cents. Wow, no, almost $1 there on that high mark. I didn't have any offers out. It's so silly. Too busy looking at Nikola and some other stocks. So now we do. We'll wait for 235 to see if that comes back. But damn it, we brought Square all the way back, man, where we had a nice 70-cent winner that we would have took. So hopefully you guys are watching Square a little more. This is the problem when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks you have on board right now and that you're looking at. So you got to watch that out and just, we keep saying it all the time, Neil, trade your own book and stuff like that because you definitely got to watch out for your trades and don't just get out when we say it because sometimes we do miss levels like that one. That would have been a great out there on that name. And then OCGN, retracing back a little bit now off that VWAP of 210. So right now we're in the money on a lot of things here. NEO, Nikola, OCGN, and now Square rifling back upside. We're back in the money on this one. It's been a good day so far.
So apparently we're already going to get some JP Morgan on the downside here. So there was the dip. This 123.50 came rather fast on us here, and 122.50, those two levels to the downside. I just got in front of 04, so it's just starting it at 9s. I do plan on adding in front of those levels on the dip. I wanted to see if we could dip buy in it. We have gone ahead and done that. The rollover on OCGN has not finished, and I said it's a new position. I technically had some shares from this break at 215 still on. But I added to it here at 206. That's why you'll see my price at 210. Either way, it's testing $2 again. You got to make sure. I'm going to always scalp 10, 15, 20 cent moves. The new bottom of 180, I'm likely to cover most of my position in front of it, but I'm going to try to be active. It's 40 million shares in OCGN. It shows no signs of stopping. You want to make sure you get in while the getting is good. It's a half day today. Get it while it's hot, and this one certainly making some moves. Brennan?
I just had an alert on this one, guys. STIC, BarkBox back to the downside. Nice move off the open there, all the way up to 19.5, but right back to 17.5, Sean.
That's where I wanted to get out at 20, and I don't have any orders out in my own account there. We called 20. Oh, it didn't go to 20, 1950, but yes, BarkBox guys, we're long at 1283 in my account. Nice little long up to 19, but look at that crash. Yuck. This is what I mean about being on the show and not being able to trade your own account, but that's okay. I don't care. And then BFT up as well. Look, I mean, I'm holding these to Moonshot as well. Merry Christmas, Valeria. Thank you for the refill on the cup. Trader TV merch, guys. Get it while it's hot. This is one of those bang mugs there. Bang on one side, Trader TV logo on the other. We have some bangers here today, including right now a 21-cent win. I'll put my coffee down. We can talk. A 25-cent win here on Neo and holding for more, guys. Nicola right now 28 cents. Like we have the bottom of the day there, 14.38. So no complaints on that one. And then OCG at Neil's obviously talked about that one. So not too much action. I did not reload that one. Busy looking at other names, but there's lots. Surprisingly, not surprisingly, every day the market moves. Brendan, there's always names, and you have some more for us.
Yeah, speaking of some of those Chinese names, guys, just had an alert on JD.com. Trying to go positive for JD. Did tag 85 there. Not quite where we ended the day yesterday, but nice move off the lows here from the pre-market, 82 up to 85 for JD.com.
Oh, man, well done. I just, before I go throw back to Neil quickly, well done, Daryl, there. You sold above 19 for STIC. So if you've been buying it where I've been buying it, you're welcome for that 60% there in 2 days. Daryl, you are the man, the myth, the legend. Let's go. Daryl, come back on the show, man. We'd love to have you on early. If you want to come on, just you know how to get a hold of us. No pressure if you don't. It's cool.
Yeah, 100%. Like, obviously, we enjoy all of our members here. And we'll talk about it. I'll put the graphic up when it's not as fast. But remember, we have that members chat coming up on Monday. Of course, I want to remind you, because there is no trading tomorrow. AVGR, I'm just, I know. It's some special day, Sean. I forget what it's called.
Damn it.
This Avenger stock, I'm going to keep calling it Avenger. Apologies for not actually memorizing the name of the company, guys. Just keep it simple here. Back to this 70 area. Now, I did have a breakout long thinking I just scalp it and then see if I can't short off of 82. Never got there. It's trying to base out here from 70 to 72. That was a range I liked before. So if I liked it before, I probably like it right now. And that means shorting off of 70 to 72 if I can. Let's see if we can't get into it. I'm going to work more OCGN out in front of 190 because it just showed a bid at 190 even, so if I get 91s and 92s, I'll take some more profits there. Brendan, what's up?
Another mover so far, guys. Camber Energy here, CEI, 53% still, but breaking downside. We got up to 180, all the way back to 120. They bought a majority stake in Viking Energy, a smaller energy company, popping up on that today, guys.
Guys, if you could follow us on Twitter, I advise you do that because I'm posting this like right now. I always buy these dips, man, every day on Neo. And look at this. We're long at 46.11, and look where we are now. So I'm going to tweet that out and just explain that a little bit when I can. But there it is, Neo, a nice little move downside. It goes all the way back to 60 there, and we got out there at 50. So we do have that small 10% left now as we go. I only took out half of what I had left, so we did have 20% there. Now we'll hold for the high side on that one. Square, it goes back up again, this time to 35.40, 34.80 there, putting us in the money, but now crashing back down. NASDAQ still going up. I still like this name. We could, I guess maybe we'll turn red on the day if this name comes back down here to 230, but I still have some bids downside. I want to average into this one, including right now at 233, then some more down here at 232. It could be ugly. I'm not putting in a lot of capital on all of these average in, guys. It's going to be a small play. I just believe that Square can take the high out again. I have no idea. When Brendan talked about this drop yesterday, like downgrades, give me a break. There it is. Nice little pickup there. I just talked about 233, so a nice little long there, giving our average price now 243.30. So, hopefully this can get back to the upside, and we'll put some orders out to get out now. 234.50, get us a winner. What up, Beep?
Just checking on Blink here, guys. Big volume spike on Blink at all-time highs. So a couple days in a row here, we've gotten up to all-time high territory. This is 48.85, so trading above that right now. But I don't think there's news on this, but Blink at all-time highs.
Not a ton of volume on this one, but that WNW just fell off like 10 bucks or so. I mean, it's a $1.50 spread. Why is that on fire still? That's a little frustrating. Anyways, it's a $1.50 spread that I'm looking at, so I don't know how good it's going to be for a day trade. I'm staying the heck away from something which is down 15%, short sell restricted, and has a spread that big. I almost can't touch it even if I wanted to be short it. I just got out of Square, broke 232.50, so I thought we'd get a jailbreak, that 235, take you into that 240. That 2-to-1 for me is that $2.50 hit, so that's why I'm going to go ahead and take it. I have to go back to that OCGN. It bounced one more time, guys, so Again, this is why you use like 95s and 90s to take profit. It's going to make another run at this VWAP here, but 215 is really the level that I think is more important. So I'm going to hold off on shorting anything until it maybe consolidates at a 210 to 215 area. I did reload an Avenger, and Nikola is coming back a little bit, but it's sort of still safely a bit of ways away from that 15 mark. This 1475, there's a secondary rollover that doesn't even get you to 1475, maybe a place to add to Nikola. But you got such a hard bounce down. This is the kind of day where I wouldn't dig too deep on the reloads because a lot of times on this holiday trade, the first trade is going to be the best one. That's why we had to have Nikola off that break, and we all love that 15.
Yeah, that Nikola was huge, man. And, we're out of a little bit of that one, but now it's just basing out. So Neil talking all about that. So we'll move on to something else. We will still talk about Square here. Now it's making moves to the downside. So now we're getting a little bit, not nervous. I mean, I already have the plan. It's down here, but it's turning out to be a loser. Not more than we wanted because we planned this out. But you got to watch out for the downside. I may adjust this 230 break because, I mean, with the NASDAQ rocking like this, I would have thought this could have got going. So we're in at 233.95. Like, it's literally a 70-cent hit. Nothing to worry about, but I may piece a little bit off right now and not wait for that ultimate high. I don't know if we get back up here because, honestly, guys, it should have gone already. And then the fact that it didn't is bothering me a little bit. So 233.20, we'll see if we can't get some off, but it is coming back to the downside. So Square looks like it'll be a miss, and it'll be our only negative stock today. Well, we have Alibaba, which I need to go back to. Can't believe I forgot about that. We're just enamored.
Oh, I got the same two negative, Baba and Square, and everything else is...
Okay.
Everything else is so far A-okay. Before we go to Brendan, I don't have anything for Avengers, so we'll just do Dancing Santa. I wish I had an Avengers key. I don't know why we would have anyways, but this one, nice rollover, same price as before, 70 to 72. Again, takes them out for that 5-cent win. Think about those percentage returns, guys, sometimes. If it gets to 60, I will definitely take some more profit there. The ultimate bottom, got this in the pre-market, is 55, but it was a 35-cent stock. So if it breaks 55, I want to have something on board if we can. JP Morgan about to test that first bottom, 123.50 that I was looking at. If it breaks that, I might have a third negative stock. All the shorts are good. These longs, I don't know. Brendan, what's up?
Online marketing company IZEA, we mentioned it yesterday. They updated their current quarter and 21 forecast to the upside. So big pop for the past couple of days, in fact. But this thing's going again today. Just tagged $2 up there. 25% for IZEA, guys.
Okay. We can definitely have a look at that stock. I mean, we've been looking at those names for a bit now, and yeah, down 20%. Okay, I did put a Square bid here, 232. Nothing happening. Alibaba was the other one here. 233, sorry. Alibaba was the other one, falls. We did make a call about 225, mid-twos here. After the show, I will be putting some more into the long-term account. This has been a good one, but we did make that move down. I got out, and then it came right back up, so that could have been okay, but we did get out there at 227 break. Now we have a 225 downside. This is just a 1-minute chart. Oh, yeah, by the way, checking back on NEO, guys. Yeah, we got out right here at the high of the day, but now it's just ripping higher. So congratulations to anybody that took that strategy there on NEO. Look at this dip buy right there. Can't believe we didn't get more at 46, but look at that. Nice little move back to the upside on NEO. Big time mover there. What's up, Beep?
Speaking of upside, PDD, guys, we mentioned this one as part of the Chinese group that was down in the pre-market. Yeah, this was down in the pre-market, now up 8%, just straight higher, 137 to 152 for Pinduoduo.
You could just say it's going parabolic. It's definitely going parabolic.
I don't have my water.
You don't? Oh, okay, never mind. I'm
Damn
sorry.
it. Gotta go
Sean doesn't have his water. That
Gotta
means
go
he
get it.
doesn't. He owes me. He owes me a drink because. Anyways, Pinduoduo is coming into this 153. Just here's the 15-minute chart. 153, 154, 156. If you go into the last couple of weeks, those are some serious tops. Like I said, it's already gone parabolic, so not stepping in front of a sword, but if it starts to turn around here, it's just too much too fast not to try a little bit of a retracement short. We talked about the negative wins. It doesn't seem to matter so far. It looks like it did do a bit of a turn here at 52. That is neither of the levels I just mentioned, so I'm not going to be jumping in front of that sword yet. I might a little bit later on.
Okay, yeah, good. And yeah, we're still looking at this Square trade here. Yeah, 230.50 or so as the bottom on Square. I cannot believe NEO, guys. Congratulations to anybody that took that long. I know some of you did. It just keeps on ripping to the high side. Now, NEO, congrats, guys. What up, Beep?
Just going to throw that headline up on the bottom there, guys. We mentioned it briefly yesterday, but officials in the UK now saying officially that a Brexit deal has been done, guys. So we're going to update the currencies coming up at about 10 to 11. But the deal has been done officially for Brexit, guys.
The deal's
There
done,
we
you
go.
say. Okay. That's good for UK stocks. We can look at some UK banks as well to see if they're moving at all off of that. But for right now, man, Alibaba is still making downside moves. AMD, we trade that well. You guys know that. Here on the show, we do trade AMD often and pretty good. But look at that, some consolidation to the upside right now, 92.35. I'm wondering if this NASDAQ is going to start to fall here and give us a couple lumps of coal for Christmas. But we're just a high side. It's been a big run, but we're consolidating here on NASDAQ. Very, very similar to AMD. So let's watch these two.
So I've been shorting the pops here in AVGR, and I'm going to start getting aggressive getting out. This last one is actually right at that 72.5 level, but it is putting in higher lows here. So it's just one of those where, might want to be getting out of it. It could make a bit of a push to the upside and then test that high of the day, which didn't happen, that pre-market top. And when it does, I would rather not be short at that moment. So you might see me start to aggressively get out around VWAP. I know I had targets out that are lower than this. Sometimes it doesn't go exactly how you want it. So if it makes another move and gets past that 60 level, fair enough. If it does some consolidation below VWAP, fair enough, I'll add back into it. But it's showing some signs of strength, which I don't like because I'm sitting here in the short. So I've taken off literally 90% of the position for only a tight 3 or 4 cent win. It's still a good return, but this one feeling a little bit strong AVGR after being a fantastic short pre-market. Brendan.
Another SPAC on the run today, RMG Acquisition Corporation. They're acquiring this Romeo Systems, which is a energy storage company. 2 days in a row here, in fact, or 3 days, I should say, to the upside. 15% here. Big move through 32 on a volume spike for RMG.
We missed that BFT long. Man, there's so many things here that we wrote down off the open, and you guys can see here on the magic list what we have here. We had BFT 1510. We could have had it. I'll show you that in a second. And then we could have had STIC at 17, and instead I'm in Square and Baba and those crazy things. Here's that BFT break of the high right there. Bang. You could have had that all the way to the upside, 1550. That would have been a pretty sweet trade for sure. But we are watching on that one as well. I'm just going to give it, I don't think we get back to 1515, but I do think this 1530 break probably worth a little bit here on that for BFT. 1530. Yeah, okay. We'll take a break on BFT 1530, and then again, guys, NEO just bouncing around 47, so an update on that one as well, guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to go right back into Alibaba now. Again, I'm down on Alibaba. You're going to see it as a small hit, like a 57-cent hit. And why am I in and out at that price? My intention was, and I said, if it gets to 225, look for a bounce play. I had my stop order to cover my long. I didn't get into the long. So I get in and out because I didn't mean to get into this position. Now that it's already broken and sort of come back, I'm looking to see if it can hold a higher low. The low of the day, 224.66. If it can hold a higher low, I'm going to jump into this retracement. I liked it at this price. For an initial pop, initial bounce. It's already had a failed break through 225. So anyone that shorted that break is either holding the bag on it or sort of praying and thinking where's my stop? Maybe it's VWAP at 228. Either way, if we can bounce without making a fresh low here, I will take my first crack at bottom picking in Alibaba. Which could get dangerous. We'll see. It has to hold the low first. Brendan?
This Solar Winds, guys, just popping back up here. SWI, if you remember that software company involved in the hack with the U.S. government. So they just came out with an update. Apparently, the company is speaking right now about a software update that is hopefully going to fix this problem of theirs. But down again today, 1.4% for SWI.
SWI, okay. Alibaba, wow, continues, Neil, to make that move down. I was sort of going to be with you on this 227 break there. But yeah, Alibaba now testing lows and going lower, guys. We're already SSR down 12 and a bit percent. I was looking at those same kind of levels, like these kind of breaks, but obviously now it's pushing lower, lower, lower. I mean, only if this was a short. I mean, this actually short looks amazing up here now as we just keep making lower lows on BA right now and just going to the downside. We do have a new position alert, so we'll see if we can cook up some profits with Foley here. BFT, long 32s. It goes all the way to 38, 39s there. I think that's pretty good. Let's take some out midway here. See if we can't take a dime on this, on BFT for a little bit. There it is, instantly in the money, a dime. So a good trade here on BFT. Thank you for that one. As it's been a money bag in our own account as well today, guys, BFT.
And hopefully JP will be a money bag off of that little bottom pick. Obviously, I didn't do it in, Alibaba just took that low rather quickly. It had to hold for me to have any interest in it. Should have gone short, but at least we did go long JP Morgan. I got 123.85 here, 86. Some out in front of VWAP, I'll take a third there. The next third will be out in front of 125 mark. And then I'm just going to try and hold the rest as best I can. This is when we forgot to, well, we did mention this. We talked about this with Lewis, our guest, FRSX. Now, I was waiting for it to be below $5 before getting into the short. I obviously didn't get it off of the open. It did make two pushes down. It's trying to consolidate lower than that. I think it's going to be good below that 5. You can get like 94, 95. It's a reasonable risk to reward, but already involved in OCGN, which I just reloaded in front of 215. So this is going to be, I shouldn't say that. That's the worst. This right now is my best stock of the day. If you say going to be, you're sort of jinxing yourself. But that 215 about to break, I just got out of it. It's not the first hit I taken on this stock today. I had some hits in the pre-market very, very early at 7 o'clock. It's been all gravy since then. Now with that break of previous support, I want to see if we can hold this 230 area. If it comes in and rolls over, jumping right back into that short. JP Morgan now almost $1 in the money. If it gets to actually $1, I will take the next third off. First long that's actually going to work for me will be JP Morgan, thankfully.
All right, so BFT right now still moving. We took some out 41s. We're waiting just before 50 right now. But the one position that we could talk about is Square, because we are getting very, very close to getting this out right now at 30.50. So it's been a bad one for us. We're out of the money now. $2.50 on it. I tried it, guys. We talked about just averaging in small. It's not even going to be a big hit, but it'll be a hit. So Square out of it. Hopefully some of it, anyways, at 230, and then we'll use like a 229 break to get out of the rest. But right now, Square, just have to talk about it. It's a losing trade. It's on, and I said, we talked about the NASDAQ possibly making highs there and coming back down. So no surprise here. Square may break our backs. Happening now with B. Wickens.
Hey guys, 10 o'clock. Let's get into North American markets here and see how things are shaping up. Pretty muted action, really, across the board as expected. On a holiday shortened session, you can see the S&P 0.2% to the upside. The Dow about the same, 0.2%. NASDAQ leading once again. Tech stocks are up both nicely, composite and the 100.4%. The Russell small caps dead flat. We had a record high yesterday for the Russell. Once again, TSX here in Toronto, 0.04%. Pretty flat. Down in Brazil, they're up 1 full percent for the BOVESPA. A couple of things to watch on the watch list. Still kind of lingering around here, guys. XL Fleet, if you remember, did get up here to all-time highs, once again above that high from yesterday. But look at this, right back down to pre-market support in the afternoon. Yesterday as well, being tested currently for XL Fleet. Come on. There we go. FCell, the other one I wanted to mention, big flush off the open from $13.80 to $12. We're bouncing back up to $13 now. Volume's decent on FCell, guys, for a day like today. Why not? Back to you.
Yeah. We had that FCell break at 14, but it didn't happen.
It definitely didn't happen. I should have at least considered. I should have considered the rollover. I talked about the reasons why I didn't want it there. Just too strong a multi-day mover and some other ones that I like better. Instead, I stepped in front of this train, which momentarily is likely to run me over. And I'm trying to do my best to have my hands on the keys, so I resist the temptation to add to a position short in Pinduoduo, and then cancel my order and get undisciplined here. But again, I see this consolidation. I'm going to take a shot at it. It was negative news, which is probably the reason why I kind of liked it here. But wowzers, is this thing strong. It looks like it's going to break the high. The reason I like it is not because the 152 that we pointed out on the higher time frame. It broke that price and then fail a break. So broke 152, slammed back down $1.50. So anybody that took the break out of that price, looking at the same daily, was sort of stuck. And I like shorting on that type of move. Now I'm going to be in and out. I'm going to have the hit on Pinduoduo, but ultimately you got to stay disciplined. It's a tightish range, which you tried to have it. If you get the full retracement of like $4 or $5, it's certainly worth risking that little hit there for like $1, $1.50, whatever it would have been, depending on the way you entered the trade. I'm not done with it. I could have just made the top here. We'll see what happens. If it does roll over, I'll try to see if we can't get it. I want to go back to Nikola because we've been sitting in this one and I didn't catch this rollover. Too distracted. Horrible, horrible. How do you get distracted when shorting Nikola is probably the easiest thing that happened this morning? Either way, there's that VWAP push. Because I didn't get it, I'm not going to chase it. I still have a bid in front of 14.25. I'll probably throw another one in front of like 14.40, which is the current low of the day, just to make sure I take profit. JPM pulled back a little bit, but it's still in the money. That's the long that's actually working.
Okay, good. Yeah, things are working out for me too here with Nikola down to 1450. We talked about that. And guys, boom. We'll just do this one. Nice little move here on BFT, guys. Thank God this one goes to the upside here. We got to get some out now. We can't celebrate it and not get out. But here we go. Nice little move to the high side. Hopefully you guys have had some of that move. And yeah, good move on BFT. Didn't even really realize that as we break through. So we take some out there, 78. Good move on BFT, guys. 50 cents of the money. Look at this. Bang, right there, in and out. Scalped it. But I mean, I'm in long on my own account. So you guys already know about that one. But BFT to the moon right now, hopefully. We'll wait. Still got STIC money on my mind as well. OCGN, we've cashed in on this one. Still going to be one of my more profitable stocks today as we go. But we got to wait for this still to come back to the downside. I don't know if it is. Only 59 million. Lewis talked about that. Not going to come anywhere near. Obviously, we knew that. The billion shares yesterday, even though we're only a half day. Remember, guys, the market's closed at 1, so we could get some more action here sooner rather than later. What up, B?
Another one from the Clean Energy Group. We've looked at this one many times. Gevo is up today, big time. Had a nice move in the pre-market there, trying to go higher again through 350 right now, 21%. They opened a new 45 million gallon alternative fuel storage facility in South Dakota. So this has been in the works for a couple of years, apparently. So their new storage facility is open and operating, guys.
Absolutely, and Gevo definitely worth a look there. Stefan, we both sort of mentioned looking for bounces in BABA, and I wanted to defend 225 if it could have shown any signs of holding, but when you get a move like this, we've said patience. I think in a longer time frame, I mean, gosh, if we get like 210, that's definitely the level. 210 to 215 is definitely where you want to be picking some of this up. For the day trade, however, simply guessing, I had one level that I really, really liked. If it was any consolidation, I never even got a chance to execute that trade because it was just screaming to the downside into it and showing no signs of slowing down. And you're seeing the same thing here. If it gets to 215, I'll definitely take a shot at that price because it just feels like it's getting way overdone here. But 220 is psychological. If at any point I see a monster, I'm talking like, remember like back in 2008, Sean, when things would go down, you see these just redonkulous bids when stocks would go down 10, 15%. If I see something like that at a 20 or a good one, I'll probably jump in front of that just because it's even dollar level. But I mean, 221's right here. BABA is not showing signs of retreating. I had an accidental short. If I held, it would have made money, but it was accidental. I didn't intend on shorting 225. So even if it had won, I couldn't be celebrating it because it was to be covering along.
Right, and that's the thing, right? I mean, that's what we always talk about it all the time, and I think honesty is what it's at. Like some people post, oh, I just had a huge winner on that stock, but realistically, man, we're trading with real shares, real money, so the calls that we make, we try to stand behind them and show you the reasons why we are making these calls, right? And I mean, all we're trying to do is teach as much as we can to our viewers, and I think it's working, Neil. We got a lot of love from the viewers as well. So big time movements here in Square today, and here's another one, guys. Like this is one that I should not have had, but I took the shot down to 250. When 250 breaks, we'll get out of some of these shares and then hold a little bit more downside for 229. But this is having the same fate right now as Alibaba and just getting crushed. There it goes. So Square, we get out right there of some Square. So Square puts us negative there for the day. So we get what? Unplugged? No, that's not a Square. When I'm plugging in our car, there goes Neo. Yeah, bye-bye, running us over with Square. What up, B?
More vaccine news, guys. Inovio Pharmaceuticals. Remember INO, big move in the pre-market up to almost $12. We got up there. They released some data on their COVID-19 vaccine. They're expecting further data early in the new year, they're saying. So positive so far for INO's vaccine.
Really? Okay, sorry, I was just getting some orders in, and I'm debating right now, but actually, like, I wonder if we just got taken out there on this Square. I'm going to cancel some of these trades here. I wonder if that was just sort of the capitulation to the downside right there, but maybe not. So we're going to use these as our outs now. 230 break out. And I think we're going to test a little. Now it goes up. We still have some on board. If it goes all the way back up, it'll turn out to be a winner. But we did dump out of 70% of our trade there on that 230.50 break. Now we're going to use 230 as a bottom, guys. But we still do have a little bit on. Not as much as we'd like. BFT, we've been taking some out. Our best out 78 right now.
It's not OCGN, but it is a solid number 2 for me. I'm going to do this. Snap. Like I was Thanos, guys, on the Avengers. And again, I keep forgetting the name of the company here because who cares? Anyways, it is continuing to come down. Short pre-market here, 68. We got nice returns there for a few cents. We shorted it again. We got the bottom at 55. If we can get back out down there again, I mean, took a bunch of shares out of 55 to 57. Anytime you're getting over like that 15% mark on one of these penny stocks, you run to the bank and make sure you get it. I did take a hit back at that 78 price and a quick little long that we scalped out. Now, I think if we can hold below VWAP here, this could be the real rollover where you just hang on to it all day long. So I'm going to try to add to it. Right now, my price is 73. If I do add, it's unlikely to be at a better price. Likely to be in the 67 to 69 range to that short position. I can tell you JP Morgan, it's holding 120. It's sort of holding that 124 mark, but it's not holding VWAP, which would probably be a pretty solid sign for this continuing to the upside. If it does break here, this 124.50, I have an order, right in that 75 mark. If it does make this break and then sort of dry up in front of my order, I'll probably just punch out. I'm not going to quibble over 10, 15 cents here. It's more the momentum off the VWAP break that I'm trying to get out above. So if we can do that, we'll go ahead and take the next third off of JP. I'm still looking to see if we can't hold the last of it, at least to retrace towards the pre-market highs here. Brendan?
We saw this one pop up yesterday, guys. Village Farms, if you remember, VFF up another 4% today on decent volume, worth mentioning. But you remember, this thing went from 10 bucks up to 12 in the afternoon yesterday. They launched a new gummy line of cannabis products, but nothing new today. But volume coming in again for VFF.
Yeah, I kind of want to throw up right now, but we'll see if we can't barbecue up some more here on Square. Like, we basically take that very bottom there and whatever. I mean, that's what happens when you hold things like that. That's why we didn't take very many shares on that, because we did have this as our out, right? So that's fine. We did take some more there. Bang. We could celebrate it. I mean, we're taking a little bit of money off right now, but Square is more spicy than profitable for me right now. A nice little out there at 232 off of a 231 long, but we still need some work to go. If it gets back to VWAP, I'll be super happy and super jacked up about that if that does happen, and that will bring us, pretty close back to positive on Square if that does happen, but we need it to happen. I'm really surprised here. Like, I should have just shorted BABA here. So this was nothing. Shorted BABA there before getting out, and then went re-short there on Alibaba, especially on that retest. Almost got close to VWAP. We did bounce off 220. I loved 220. We talked about why on the daily chart, but where is my daily chart? Let's call that up right here. Wow, this is that level, that 220 level, man. Right here, again, there is some consolidation. We could dip as low as 213, so I don't think the pain maybe is over on Alibaba yet, but this is a great long-term spot here for me. I think I would like to pick up some Alibaba, but as far as the day trade is concerned, man, I'm not going long anytime soon on this name, Neil.
Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, like I said, if I see something really spectacular at 220, which I haven't, certainly, and then 215 is the next level that I actually would take a shot at it. This Jivo, Brendan just mentioned it. Now, when you look here, you see this sort of volume spike, and on most symbols, you're likely to see the biggest volume in the day be right at the open. So when you see a bounce off the bottom on a strong name and you get volume into that move, I'm kind of anticipating, and I want to take a crack at Jivo here at 380 if I can, but I'm anticipating a test of that high. If it does make that move and sort of extend, it's worth keeping in mind. This has been a double up in the last few sessions here. So I think it has that shot to be a good rollover, but patience is the name of the game. It just had, it's probably biggest on the 15-minute, the biggest volume candle of the week just came on that push off the bottom. That's why I would wait until the high of day instead of taking that lower high, which might stand out. Like sometimes I would be getting in at this 350, 360 area. Not today based on that last volume spike.
Okay, so we just got into BABA long, so I lied. Sorry about that. And it wasn't a lie. I just was thinking about getting into BABA, and then we finally just did on that break. So we're long 22.55 right now. So I just wonder if that's the bottom there, 21, right? So the fact that we can get in now and hold this for $2 makes sense from a risk side of things for me. So we are now long 22.55 on Alibaba, looking for a $4 retrace to get this money back all the way back to VWAP here. I just wonder if that's overdone today, 13% plus what we went down yesterday. So we're going to give this one back to day's low here on Alibaba and see if we can't find a winner. It's against us right now. It did go in the money for us about 50 cents, but I'm going to give it back to this day low here of 221. If 221 breaks, we're going to get out well worth $1.50 worth of risk for me, guys. I
feel like if there's a stock which is stronger than Blink in terms of how much money is going into it today, I don't know if I found it. There was this bounce off the open. Obviously should have had. If you look at these breakout plays, even if you've missed a 10% move on a $50 stock, you sort of look for these obvious like pullbacks. The first one, which was like a $2 move in here and then bouncing off VWAP again. So to say 48.50 is going to 49 is going to be a bit of a level is an understatement. However, at this point, I'm probably thinking fade going into this half day, slow down after that first half an hour. I already see volumes starting to taper off on Blink. So that's a decent sign there. Got the free shorts. It's a 52 on the dime top. I'm going to take a shot at this one. Now, I know I got ran over by Pinduoduo, but this is a trade I'll put on almost every single time here. When I see extended pullbacks on a strong stock, it's shown that it's willing to pull back $2 to $2.5. If it does it here, it's a fantastic one. Brendan, what's up?
More vaccine news, guys. This one regarding Altimmune. Remember ALT, a clinical hold has been placed on their COVID-19 vaccine. So this was actually out after the session yesterday. So big move down at the close yesterday for ALT. We did pop up a little bit at the open there, but fading off as well for ALT, guys.
Yeah.
Got into position on that Blink on a 51 break. 87s is my price here. Look, I gave myself some room to add above that price, so I'm wanting to risk $1, which means if I had to pay down below 51, it means I cannot add to the position unless it's above that or I want to break my rule. So hopefully we get down into VWAP here, but I'd definitely scalp some in front of that 49 mid-range, let's call it.
Yeah, I was trying to I was just going to talk about Alibaba because it looks like it is going to try to come right back and break this 221. So it looks like there's going to be no longs. Like I really thought, what time is it now? It's 10:13. Like it should, if it was going to bounce, honestly, just with my experience and everything like that, I would have thought this was a shot right there to do that, and it didn't. So, I mean, it did have a chance to break out. We were building. It's not, I mean, I can open this volume up a little bit here. It's not a play on volume. I don't think we capitulated to the bottom or anything, but I just thought that we had a chance here to build a base. We based it out a couple times, so that's why we took that shot. I don't think we're out of the water. I mean, I don't think we're in too much trouble yet, but we do have that 221 break. That's why we put some shares on at 222.50. So we take a shot on that break, and I think it's worth it. I still think it could go, but this is Alibaba, so be careful, guys. Brendan, give something else.
I just saw this one, guys. Lemonade down significantly today, 4.25%. You can see big move up yesterday over the past couple of days. Even you can see for this one, 13%. In fact, to the upside yesterday. So 4.5% pull in today, probably expected, but trying to bounce here. 125 for Lemonade.
I don't know how you get back into it. And I was saying, like, how do you add to a Lemonade position when it was 113 was what I was asking myself. And now it's like pulling back $10 and I still don't even feel terribly comfortable. This was great at 70. It just put a double in from there. So 138, this was due for a correction. I mean, ultimately, I don't care how much I happen to love what they do. This was definitely due for this type of a move. And I tend to think 115 would have been a better look. I'm about to get run over. Well, we'll see what happens on Blink here, but I just got the rest of my position. You'll see a 51 price is exactly what I was looking for. 51.06, so it's a little bit better than that. If it breaks 52, got to run away from this. Looks like it's another breakout, and I might reverse to the long side, though I'm a little bit undecided on whether I want to be long at that price. Lemonade, I would hold off on buying. As far as the day trade goes, I'm looking to fade 131. That was, you look at this top 138 double top, you look at that next consolidation point, it is 128 to 131 as the day trade. I'd probably be fading off of it because this correction has been kind of overdue for Lemonade.
Faded. Yeah, that stock definitely a fade spot there. OCGN not doing anything. We did have this nicely from the beginning, guys. It's down 20%. All of us had this. So congratulations to everybody that was with us. Even maybe a better short, but like 228 there. I can zoom back out a little bit. You know, there was a level here, 230, that we were playing off of. Short there, short 218. We didn't short any on a 2 break, but we basically got out at the bottom of the day. So that was a good trade. Alibaba, guys, I'm going to go 0 for 2 on this one because it's going to break 221 in a couple seconds. And then downside after that. I mean, if we get a 220 break, wow, look out below, I would say, on that. So, but here comes 221. Watch out. We're going to get out on a break here. There's the size. You're seeing it live here on tradertv.live. And there we go. There's my out right there. You see it gets ticked out at 75. So not a great out there, but whatever. You saw it break to the downside. So once again, man, we're going to fall. Where's my fall in a hole here? It looks like the Grinch, guys, where's the ear is? Looks like the Grinch has come today for me on Alibaba. So that's okay. We're making money everywhere else, but not Alibaba and not Square, because Square now 228. So 2 high flyers and 0 for 2 on those ones, but our day is still pretty good, man. Nikola, OCGN, Neo was a big one today for us as well, and then ABML on the pink sheets. But yeah, today not the best day once again, but we kind of expected that, right, Neil? We started the day talking about using less shares on a half day. It's a Christmas day. Oh,
And best trades also sometimes being that first 15 to 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it might be.
That's why I thought Alibaba did have a chance to go there, because just, anyways, okay, here. Guys, give us a Christmas, gift here, right? Valeria? Only 2,000, but 7,000 watching. Like, let's get that up here. Whether you like the show or not, give us a Christmas wish here and just hit a couple more likes on that. We are trying. There we go, 2.1 there, Valeria. We are trying to get that up. I'm going to throw to Valeria soon. You guys can see her lovely Christmas sweater. I do believe we are getting ready for Brendan, so I'll throw it back to Neil. But you guys let me know, or let us know in our ear what you guys want to do. But I think we need to get Valeria back on for the likes, because honestly, 2,000 likes on Christmas Eve. Let's go.
You cannot have Miss V.
There you go, 2,500.
You can't have her frowning on this day. Let's see if you can't put a smile on her face. Let's go to Miss V.
Hey guys, so you see I'm even wearing a hit the like sweater. So please support. Merry Christmas and bring us love. Back to Sean and Neil and Brendan.
Who's that Brendan guy? No, Brendan has like I think the coolest sweater, but I'm a little bit biased when it comes to all things of Star Wars. I want to get back to this OCGN. It's back below this little VWAP. I wanted it to test 225, 230. That is where I was looking to get back into a position. It never did, so that's why you're going to see me flat on it. If it does go below 2, we're going to take a shot at it. I just got run over by Blink. So I don't know if I want to take multiple pot shots at those names. I feel like those rollovers haven't worked, while sticking to the small caps has basically been where the day is made. So that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be back into OCGN. But first, we have to go to our small cap recap with Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, we'll talk about a couple that we've been discussing over the past few hours here this morning. One of them, AIM, I mentioned right before the open. I'll start off with that one. Didn't end up doing a heck of a lot, but I mentioned 225 up here, and then 250 was the actual level I really liked, but didn't really do much. Just flushed off the open, so out in front of 2 there. On AIM Immunotech, some COVID news on that one today. My take on OCGN, probably definitely the easiest trade of the day. 230 ended up being a little bit of a line in the sand in the pre-market here, got flushed down to 170, so gave you a nice opportunity to the downside this morning for OCGN. FRSX, Foresight Autonomous, one from the list, gapping down this morning after a huge move yesterday. This is $5. The line is $5, was holding as support throughout the pre-market. I just took the break. Big flush out in front of 450 for Foresight. So one of those days you kind of got to take what the market gives you, I think, and not be afraid to take your trades if they are in the money for you. Guys, back over to you.
Yes, great advice. Take your winners when they are there. And I think that's what we've just been doing on OCGN right now, and not letting this one get back to the high side. So we do think there's more love for this to the downside, but we just took a little bit more off, not counting our chickens too much before they hatch. And I think that's important on a day like today, especially when the volume looks the way it does. So good call there on Brendan. Okay, so 1450 here on nickel. I think it's worth another shot to the downside here. I think we could probably take that on a 1450 break. So that's good to go. I did want to talk about this with Paul here, and I think no matter what, this is to me, guys, again, I do have the experience here, and I don't mind. I'm not even down that. I'm literally down 10% of what I made yesterday. So, okay, but I know Sean has a lot of positive days, but I'm learning a lot, a ton today from his negative trade. So look, I'm not learning. I'm learning a little bit from them, but yes, thank you so much there for Paul. And that's really all that matters, guys. You're going to have winning days. You're going to have losing days. The idea is that there's more of the latter, I think. What did I say first? It's important that there's more winning days and losing days. Here it is. So the Grinch. So we have a green screen there. There's the, I got to put out this arm. There's the Grinch to go. Which way do I have to move to get this better? The Grinch is in the building, guys. I got to trade. I can't keep doing this. Throw it over to somebody else.
I just came back and I didn't want to. Look, I took a bit of a bathroom break. That's why I'm not already in OCGN. I'm going to try to do it now. When 220 goes on Alibaba, that means the next level is the one that I was looking at, and it's going to be that 215. So it's going to be the first intentional trade I will have on this stock. To say that it's going to get there is, I don't know. Obviously, it's got a couple of dollars to go, but it actually hasn't. Look, it's going down strong, and this is a big volume spike on that last little break of 220. But there hasn't been that, crap, like brown pants moment, if you want to talk about Deadpool, because I absolutely love that movie. But anyways, we're going to have the brown pants on if this breaks 215, because I'm going to be long in front of it as long as there's any kind of any kind of a slowdown, any kind of a level, it almost doesn't matter. I'm probably going to take that long, regardless of what I see. I like that 215 area.
Yeah, I was just laughing at Juice Ghost there. Said, perfect representation. Here it is on the chat. I'm just having a good time today. Perfect representation of the Grinch. I got to go. I can't keep doing this. But no, just because I have trades on, right? That's all. But we're not being Scroogey. Oh, I could show you. I'll show you a picture. My tree is definitely not too Grinch-like. My kids will be doing hopefully pretty good this year as well. I stopped and got some gifts for the brother, my parents, so on and so forth. It's going to be a little bit of a slower Christmas, but I am going to go see today my 93-year-old grandmother. I'll be dropping again. It's crazy. Like I have to drop it off at her porch, but the kids and I will stand probably, I guess, at the sidewalk. I mean, it's just killing me to talk about this. But anyways, we love you guys. We all love our families. That's for sure. Stay safe, everybody, this year, no matter what you're doing. Try to follow protocols. I know it's tough, but we're almost through all of this, guys. Nicola breaks 1450 there to the downside. And now, Neil, are you still, I mean, I still have some. I don't know if you got any of that reload. You were talking about that, but I didn't. And I should have took a 1450 break like we were talking about. But look, the market's not moving.
I got none of that reload, and I'm sort of kicking myself over it. Like right now, my eyes are a bit peeled over to Alibaba here, down and around that 215. It got to 217.77. Givo, I said the reasons why I felt it might make a test of the top. It's a weird thing because you'll probably ask yourself, if it was at 350 and you're saying you're not going to go short because based on that volume you just saw, it's likely to make a test of the top, why not scalp 25 cents to the long side? And I'm asking myself that same question several times here because I could have put that on and risked 5 pennies to make 10 to 15, but I was just thinking short retracement and how I wanted to get into it instead of the other way around. So obviously it is what it is. I'll look to correct that because it's a good read and I got to use it to make some money instead of just save me some pain. Now it did roll over. Break of the high at 80, slam right back down. You know that's an entry point for me. Unfortunately, I don't get it until this 70 area here. I'll look to add to it. If this is the bottom on BABA and it was 1777 instead of 215, I'm going to be disappointed, but you can't get mad at yourself because when the stock's going down like this, you have to have your level and your plan of action to play it. Otherwise, you just get run over. So I'm trying not to do that here. I'm waiting patiently for BABA to go a little bit further before dipping in. Brendan.
A little microcap steel, iron and steel company just popping up here. Sifco Industries on the NYSE Arc Exchange, SIF on the NYSE Arc Exchange. As I mentioned, they're 68%, back above $6. They updated their current quarter and full year 21 forecast after market yesterday to the upside. So this company has a $23 million market cap, and they're planning on making that much next year, guys.
SIF. You know what? Why not? Because I'm the only nerd that's actually going to understand that I should go right over to Avenger. And then, yeah, I'm still short at 73 here, but I have barely anything left. It's going to give like a 25% return here. I'm getting out in front of the bottom of the day, guys. But remember up at this range, so it's pie in my face when I said this feels like it's a little bit strong, and I took off a boatload of shares right in around VWAP for a small return. It was like that 3%, and now you're starting like 25%. This has been probably the best of the shorts. I just wish I had a little more conviction on the reload. Either way, if you actually get that a sort of Avengers plug there with Sif, one of my favorite characters, that somehow managed to get eliminated from the universe for no good reason. Anyways, I'm just a big time nerd, guys. That's what you know I like to do around here. And on top of that, if you haven't noticed that, I will drop every single science fiction or comic book reference that I can over and over again. It's just what I do. I don't have one for Alibaba, other than I will probably be a little bit like, not the Roadrunner, but one of the characters. I'm always blanking on it. What is the character that goes after the Roadrunner?
Wile E. Coyote?
Wile E. Coyote. That'll be me falling off a cliff if 215 breaks on Alibaba, because I'm going to take a shot defending it. It's consolidating right here, and it is very, very tempting. I'm telling you what, it's very tempting to get long right here, right now, but I'm trying to wait for it. If it bounces, man, unbelievable. I might take a pot shot at 220 on the way back up, but the real position is 215.
You guys, I had some value with the Wile E. Coyote reference there.
That's a good one.
Okay, 229. Yeah, someone's saying Square breaking back to the upside. Please don't tease me because I will get back long this name on this 229 break. But look, I've done this before where we just average in to a stock when I have an idea. Like, you know, we did a little bit of a rebound. This was my rebound play right here, right then. It didn't go, and then we gave it up. So I'm not going to retest this, guys. And if you want to try it, you can. I didn't understand yesterday what this big square move was about. Let's put it to a 3-minute chart. You guys can have a quick look on this with me as well. I couldn't understand this move, and really today, I don't really understand this move either. So we have to wait. Like, that's all-time highs, so I guess a little bit of a pullback on a couple downgrades, but square now just pulling back in. And you know what? If you don't got a good read on something, the best thing to do is just to give it up, right? And I mean, so that's what we're going to do there, and we're just going to keep watching the stocks that we've been trading quite well here, including our friend and your friend, if you're short, Nicola Neal, now at the bottom of the day, Brendan.
Another alert here, guys, on Pinduoduo, still going. Day highs on a volume spike here for PDD. Was just checking on this level over here, 163.35. All-time highs over there for PDD. What a move for this one today.
Jeez.
Oh, man. I stepped in front of that train, too, and now I'm stepping in front of the... look, I said I'd take the first shot, and it would be smaller than a 215 on Alibaba. But it feels like this doesn't go right away, then I'm going to have 40 thieves robbing my pockets here because we'll take a quick hit on Alibaba. If you got that reference, I tried to come up with something nerdy for you, but most of you probably didn't, so it is what it is. I'm just going to go back over to C3 AI. It's all well and good to have a plan of action, but you got to be able to execute it. The liquidity on this has been questionable the last couple of days, but there's been my best stock probably for a couple outside of OCGN on my best stock of the week. I wanted to short off of 172. I wanted to bounce off of 160. Neither one of those trades were really that actionable unless you just blindly jumped in front of it. In front of that level on the way up. And that's not how I wanted to trade C3 AI, so I wasn't going to do it. BABA here long 22.10. I am not giving this long all the way to 215 simply because I want that to be another trade. That's a long off of the support level that I thought was going to be there. So I'll give this one maybe like a buck and change because the real trade for me is going to be down at 215 area. And I don't want to have lost too much money going in front of it. For now, it's managing to consolidate, and I apologize for these wicks. It didn't print 256. If it gets there, I'd be very, very happy, obviously.
Yeah. Nicola right now at the day's low and still making moves, man. 14.28. Like, look how ugly this chart looks to the downside. Okay. I have to find somebody. Someone gave $10. What is a call sweep? Where is that? Here it is right here. Jeremiah. Let me pull it up here. What is a call sweep? So a call sweep is basically when you look at an order book, let's just say that this is all options. So, you know, you have an options price at 29, at 30, at 31, at 32, and someone just comes in and takes them all. So it's like you didn't really care about a price. You maybe put a big order in. It's a call sweep. So it's like sweeping the book, right? So that's what a call sweep is on that one. And, you know, you can look it up and Google it, but that's what that is. And then thank you so much for this one. What are your thoughts on SWI for long-term hold? I don't know much about that stock. We can do a little bit of look on SWI, but for long-term, I like the blue chip ones, the blue chip names, and I'm sort of including now a little bit of PaySafe in there, and I do think that Bark.com, although these aren't blue chippers, those are good ones, but I will look at SWI. You guys know I like the JP Morgans, I like Square, I like maybe Alibaba picking some up after the show today, although this fall is way more than I thought would happen. So those are some long-term plays. And if you've ever heard of a company, it's a pretty small company right now, but it's one that I think could get going eventually. Apple for a long-term call there, Neil.
Boy, you gotta love that one. You know what? To be honest, I mean, I don't know. SolarWinds is definitely in a solid space. I think when you're talking about the future, there's absolutely zero question what is going to happen here. All that said, it's actually I would much prefer breaking out in this stock than sort of buying into the dip. Like if it takes out 1625, I would look to be getting in for a swing trade, not necessarily holding on to it. But either way, that's what I would be waiting for. And I said it would happen. I don't want to hit the puke because I feel like I hit that one too many times. We're not going to cry over spilt milk. That was a little loud, Rob. But Alibaba does break down, so you can add me to the list of victims today, but it's not over. I promise you. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's probably not over. 217.70 has held. It's still consolidating off of this bottom. Like a $2 bottom is nothing in terms of consolidation. It's a tight consolidation when you consider the move has been 15%. If it holds this low, I'll probably take another shot in this range, but 215 was the level I wanted. It just might not actually get there before turning, it seems. Brendan.
I mentioned that IZEA earlier. This is another one in that same kind of online marketing on online advertising agency company Fluent here, FLNT. 2 days in a row to the upside. Big move to 5 yesterday. We're all the way up to almost $6. Right up here is $6 for FLNT. Don't see any headlines on this, but nice move. 52-week highs for FLNT. About an hour left over in the session in Europe. Valeria's watching what's going on over there. V, what's up?
Hey Brandon, European shares are mostly in a positive territory, with British banks trading higher as the Brexit trading deal has been agreed. Also, Lloyd trading in London is up almost 4%. Back to you.
Yeah. Officially done before Christmas, which is good for them. So we're going to talk about the currency and the Brexit deal coming up as well at 11, guys.
So,
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to say, Bojo, a happy guy. They're finally getting that done. It's about time for that Brexit deal. And we can look at a few European banks and just see if those are moving. But go ahead, Neil. I'll find some banks.
I have nothing for Jivo, so I'm just going to say I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Now, the thing about this is, if I get the short off the high of the day, I'm probably trying to get something like 70 to 75, right? So in that case, if it gets to VWAP, you're looking like 15, 20 cent returns. Just because I actually got in at 69, 70 instead doesn't mean I'm like, oh, I have to hold out for the exact same amount of growth. No, I wanted some out in front of VWAP and 350, so I'm just going to do it anyways. So even if I start taking off wins at 7, 8, 9 cents instead of 12, 13, 14. It's the areas that matter more. Just because I had to pay down for the short doesn't mean I'm just going to stubbornly be like, no, I wanted a 15-cent winner. No, it's 12 because that's the level I want to get out in front of. So if we break this 350 below VWAP, I'll try to hang on to about half the position on Jivo just to see if it can flush back to 325. But I am scalping the profit. You got to do it on this day, especially on this day. A couple of things that I might have held on a little bit too long for without taking profit. And man, Alibaba's getting tempting. It just broke 220 to the upside again. It really feels like it's trying to bottom out here. I might take another pot shot.
Okay, so here's Lloyd's Banking. I mean, I said I'd call them up. It's LYG here in London. And yeah, this is why we're not really talking about it. Nothing. But yesterday was the move, it looks like, on some of that news. We can look it up on a daily chart if you did want some Brexit love. I mean, I think you can invest right now in LYG. I mean, I haven't done the work I've done on JP Morgan and some of the US banks for this, but Lloyd's right now, I mean, up to 210. That could be a beautiful spot if you were, want to play some rebound here into Brexit. I mean, we can, zoom way back. I mean, this stock, look, it's been in trouble for a while, that and Barclays as well, but that's because this has been on everyone's mind. And now that maybe Brexit, and again, I don't know if the deal's great for banks. That's why I'm not acknowledging that this is going to be a good breakout. But there is 210 right here. Like, there was some consolidation there. And then we've been to 210 before. So I definitely think that there's some possibility here with LYG. OCGN now back to 2. And I just want to show you guys there is some levels there on the day here. Let's zoom in a little bit more to see what the kind of stock we're talking about. A breakdown there gets us to 190. So a 2 break probably comes to 190. I think it's worth another shot here on OCGN, guys. Brendan, what's up?
Sean, maybe you can have a look at this one. Rosalie asking about Enbridge here, maybe in Toronto or in the US. I'm not entirely sure, but Enbridge may be on a long-term play.
I mean, Enbridge is one of the longest positions I've held in my account for a very, very long time. And the reason why, it's such a solid dividend producer, right? I do like Enbridge. The only problem is, obviously, it's gas distribution. So there's no doubt that it's a play. It's not really a play, obviously, for a day trade. So let's look at a longer term time frame here. Oh man, look, it's been a rough ride. I actually was able to drop some Enbridge and raise some capital right around here, $50, $60, so I didn't have to worry about this big drop. But like I keep saying to everybody, if you're going to pay a dividend, I think Enbridge is probably 3 to 4%. They have a solid business. It's a gas pipeline. I do like it for a long-term play. I think, though, Rosalie, that you got to get this one. Like, you see this level right here, 40. I know it's only at 41. So if you're going to do a long-term play, I think you could start dipping now because a 10% move off the top here is something good. But you got to watch out, though. I mean, because Biden's coming in now, and a lot of the talk is going to be on clean energy. Now, I know natural gas is pretty clean. It's not oil. That's not what Enbridge is. They're in the distribution, the pipelines, and whatnot. So I like Enbridge. Just keep collecting that dividend. But if you're looking for some capital gains, NEPA. You're not going to get it from Enbridge. I would prefer, if you are looking at this, go over to another play that I like is Fortis. That's going to be a good one. And again, they're into energy distribution as well. And look, this is what I'm talking about. It looks nasty. I get it. It's not moving around, but a very, very solid dividend. I think they've increased their dividend for like 30 or 40 years now. So Fortis is a name that I like, probably a little bit better than Enbridge, a lot more solid company as far as a consistent basis. So that's some of my talk on the Canadian side, but why not buy some Shopify?
Yeah, if you're in Canada, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything too positively about the energy space here, but I am going to say to paint a picture or a portrait. Here we go again. Alibaba 2035. If you get that reference, I am incredibly proud of any of you that do. This is the type of trade here. This time, I'm actually going to give it to the low of the day. So I'm just willing to risk that $2.5, $3 on the trade. And I think that if it bounces, this is where you're going to test up to like 224, 225 at least. So that's 1-to-1 at VWAP. I'll definitely take some shares off there because it's been so weak. But let's see if this isn't where it can make a bit of a turn. This far and no farther, let's draw a line in the sand. Here it is in Alibaba. I took it once. It was a tight stop. I think that's a poor approach to making that trade. You have to give it to that low of day if you have any conviction with it. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do now. If it breaks that low, we'll look at that 215 and see if it can't hold up. But it is getting to that halfway point in the session. It is a holiday half day, so maybe it can melt to the upside, given the fact that you might see some shorts take some profit on what obviously was a profitable short that I wish I had.
I mean, I think just to make sure that it goes, I think we need at least here a 222 break. So I'm going to wait for that. I'm going to wait for right where I got in before for that break. So I mean, I agree that Alibaba's probably oversold here, but again, I'm not messing with the CCP. So we'll see. But it could rebound from here. Again, this is kind of a very similar bottom that I thought it made already before cracking. So this is a good one, 217, 218. Why not take a shot there if you did like it? I'm still not out of Nikola. So yeah, that one, guys, hit the cowbell for this winner. Look at this, 14.95. Maybe we'll just get out at 14. Is there size here at 14? I mean, come on. Let's just get this out, and then we'll see about another rebound in this one. Nikola to the downside might just cover this for a smooth dollar on Nikola. Merry Christmas to all who have shorted Nikola today. We are ready to the big screen. I'm going to go run and get my water. It's big screen time with Brendan Wiggins.
Hey guys, let's have a look at the overall S&P 500, see how things are shaping up. Pretty muted action, as we've been saying. As expected, we are positive, but just 0.25% to the upside for the overall market. As far as the board is concerned, today you can't really take a lot from this because volume is so low. Yes, the energy sector is weak and leading the downside action. Yes, tech stocks are positive and leading the upside action, but if you cancel these two out, yes, we're positive, but only 0.25%. Healthcare stocks are putting in a bit of a move today. BDX and TFX leading the way there, about 2% to the upside. So nothing significant for these, but they are in positive territory. Everything else relatively flat. You can see industrials a little bit to the downside. Some of the airlines are weak again today. Consumer staple stocks back in negative territory. Just saw PG there up a full percent. Heading into the Christmas break, we have communication stocks, Fox A, CHTR, Chatter, and NWSA, about 1% to the upside. Banks back to the downside. We did see a little bit of a push higher earlier in the week for the banks, but as we were saying this morning, these ones might be due for a bit of a pullback. The individual names leading the way. There's Wells Fargo there, WFC leading 2% to the downside. For that one, insurance names are also negative territory along with diversified financial. The consumer discretionary stocks, the weakest group so far today. Here's the cruise lines here, CCL, RCL, and NCLH. Hotels are here. GM, some of the car makers in negative territory, 2.5% for GM, but there's Tesla if you're wondering. 1.5% to the upside. L Brands over here, Under Armour's negative as well. Overall, kind of muted action though. Only kind of 1 to 2% moves are the highest ones we're seeing so far today. We are positive, guys, but only 0.25%. Back over to you.
I got to hit this one for you guys. We don't do it enough. Obviously, look, if you haven't seen Nikola, been the easiest trade. I just took it all out in front of that 14 because I saw a bit of a bid, 150,000 shares on just one gateway, about 200,000 total. here in that 14 even. So it's not quite a buck, but I mean, it's pretty close to it. Why not take it if you can, which I just did. And Brendan is the GOAT. That trade is definitely the GOAT trade of the, well, we'll see. I mean, yeah, you could call it that. OCGN's been pretty good too. So I actually think the Nikola trade is a little bit better, if only because you had to adjust for the fact that it was short sell restricted, which made it very, very tricky. And it was only a breakdown trade, so I'm happy to get it. OCGN, I talked about getting back in front of VWAP. We did. That's 204 here. It's rolling back towards that low of the day. If it gets to 180, I will again get flat. Get all of it out. There's a bit of a bid here at 190, so I'm going to take some at 91, and the rest we'll hold for 85 and then hold for 80. Likely get out a penny in front of each of those levels.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I'm not going to get out of Nikola. I'm going to wait for a 14.10 break. It's just a matter of, give it to see if it does want to continue to go down. But yeah, I'm noticing that size there, and there's nothing. I mean, that's good. That's what we did yesterday on Nikola. Remember, the size was there at 15. We were short 15.60. We got out at 15 when we saw a similar size. So good on that. I mean, I'm sure Neil, I just went and got the water there. I'm sure Neil talked a little bit about Alibaba. OCGN, we still have.
Parabolic down.
It's down, right?
But it's going parabolic to the downside.
Well, Alibaba? Oh, because of the drink. Yeah. I'll get that in a second. Okay, what about... I wanted to look at Peloton. That's what it was. When I was walking around, I was like, why haven't I looked at Peloton? Because, guys, today, man, I mean, let's just go chicken dinner winner, man. We are long Peloton. You guys know that, 118. And, I mean, what a great call that's been for Peloton. And look, we are right near the all-time highs again for Peloton. Like nothing's going to stop this stock. I was calling that, we'll probably see 200 by January. I know that's kind of a big call. It's like another 30%, but I don't know if the stay at home just continues. Oh, and guess what Joe Biden's going to announce? I don't need to tell you guys this. You already know that, but he's going to tell everybody that they have to wear masks for 100 days, it looks like. So, I mean, what else restrictions are going to come? Peloton just keeps working, guys. Yes, Peloton for the win, guys. Big one. What's up, Beep?
Vivo Power, we mentioned this one yesterday, another 10%. I mean, it did come off significantly. If you remember, this thing had news in the pre-market. They're getting into the EV space as well. So just breaking back through $10 here for VVPR, guys.
I remember you, VVPR, but I also remember you, Fuel Cell. Yeah, this one starting to find a bit of a bottom. This was quite the flush. We came in here thinking about, okay, 14 break. Actually, let me go ahead and cancel those because if it makes a break of 14 after this little bit of a low, it's probably at a time of day that's a little too close to that holiday close when volumes will be down. So I don't want it anymore. So I went ahead and canceled it. It's showing all kinds of weakness here on the way back. Now, it was a great bounce off 12, but anytime a stock is doing this where it's just multiple days of parabolic moves to the upside, you're looking for that retracement. The last time it did this, it was a really, really deep retrace. The second time here, it was 3 days in a row back in. It is a holiday, so I feel like there is that chance that there is a secondary push down into that close. I think you're shorting in front of 13. I know there was one little break here to like 13.10. I'd probably have a tighter stop on it just given the nature of where liquidity is likely to be. Grab the liquidity at that 13 area. So I want to be looking at a short at about 75.80 in that VWAP range, not paying down for it, but waiting patiently. And then if it breaks the evens, you're just all out of it. No harm, no foul. Actually add a little bit to that BABA. Every time it pops back up at 220, it just looks so good. Add a few shares. It's the same level of risk in terms of the gross, but the longer it holds this, the more I'm kind of liking what we have here. It's 220.37. Low of the day is my out, just a little bit below that price, so like 217.50.
Yeah. I was still waiting for that to break. Oh, so BFT comes back. We get out for flat. Good little win there, for BFT today as well. Nikola looks like it's going to break. Check back in NEO. We did have this hero long as well on NEO earlier, and that was a good trade. The only time I've stepped into it there, it's been pretty choppy. Like look at the market, guys. This is exactly the kind of stuff that we talked about earlier that was going to happen. Here's the NASDAQ. Like, it makes that initial move. Now it's just kind of grinding higher, but not doing a whole hell of a lot here. That's the NASDAQ 100 trying to make moves, but not much happening on that. So we can check out there. We already talked about Enbridge. I saw that. And check back on the likes. If you haven't hit the like yet, do that. Oh, look at STIC right now. Back upside. So yeah, we're going, Daryl. We're trying to go back again. Those of you, again, that are fans of the show and follow me on Twitter, we've been tweeting this out at Trader TV Sean. I'm long sub 13 on this one just from 2 days ago, actually, where this name was. So we're on a big run here. Now up that 20%, and I do like it. Again, this is going to be bark.com. It's a subscription model. And look, we talked about dogs yesterday, and we don't need to do that again, but I just believe in this. I think it's a great spot. They're lining these bids up. STIC, get it while it's hot. Like, I don't know when, but maybe right now is not a horrible spot to get STIC. I like it. And for a day trade, I haven't been able to get in yet today, but 2.5 million shares is pretty decent, and we're breaking VWAP. So let's try it on an 18 break here. STIC will try small, see if we can't get this to 19 on that.
Yeah, and I'll go over OCG in a second. It just bounced back up to $2. But this SENS, someone was asking me, Neil, why aren't you short this one? I actually did have this in the pre-market a couple of times. And then right at the open, or just before the open, I covered it for flat of my initial entry price at 106. And then it just sort of got too sleepy. OCGN was much better. I thought AVGR was also a better look. This is getting a little strong. I mean, hard bounce up 9. It's reclaimed $1 a few times, which is a bullish sign all day long here. Normally, I'd be thinking, okay, well, if it can break this little 115 or 130 top, you could have a runner on your hands. But not necessarily on this day. I wouldn't be betting on it on a holiday shortened day. I think I'm going to be shorting this one if I can off that high. It's not the pre-market top at 130. It would be off this opening range top at about $1.15. So I would get into this. I am going to get into this one now. Normally, I'd be thinking about, hey, it looks like it made a strong bottom. It could be a runner. I would rather bet against that, given the nature of the day and it being a half day.
Yeah, that's the other thing, a half day. So we are getting ready to close the market at 1 o'clock. So, wait, what up, Brad?
Fidelity National, guys, just seeing this fintech having quite the move here. This is not a small stock. You can see 83 billion on the market cap for it. Fidelity National, which is FIS, just straight to the upside today. No headlines, as I mentioned, that I can see at first glance. I'll keep looking, but just broke 139, heading higher, guys.
Okay, STIC, okay. There's the 18 break, and we're in. So we're in at 18.05. So let's see how high STIC wants to go now. I will not try to miss this. We'll put an order at 50 or so. Already a nice little win, so we can start flossing some off here for what's going to be hopefully a good idea. Don't know how high it's going to go, but there it is, in at 18 on an 18 break. So I'm going to wait up here 18.50 or so, see if we can't play some momentum to the high side and not forget to get out of this one.
Yeah, I just got into Sens. It's going to be 110. We got our price now. 115 is going to be the out. I know it ticked above it one time before, but that's the level I'll play. That's where the bulk of the volume was. I'm likely to be averaging into that 115 range. I would take more shares at 13 and 14 than I would at 10 here. That's going to be obvious. BABA looks like it's trying to test that bottom, guys. Even if it does break, I still like that 215. I'll probably take a shot at it if it gets there. It's just shown no signs of, it's consolidated. It just hasn't bounced yet. I've got the consolidation price. We'll see what happens, but Alibaba definitely going to be my worst stock of the day unless it goes from here. Fresh lows could be in the cards. I think it's gone a little bit too far, but you cannot fight the market just because you think something is going to happen doesn't mean it will. FireEye, on the other hand, I just want to quickly come back to this name. There was an opportunity to go short a while ago. Obviously, you would have missed that opportunity. It's made multi-day runs. This is very, very similar to what we just showed you guys in Fuel Cell, but this already testing a couple of days worth of consolidation before this most recent breakout at 2150. That is primed for be support for FireEye. The only issue, of course, is it's a holiday shortened day. So you have like limited time for it to base out and give you that kind of a bounce. If it does, I like this one here, FireEye for momentum play. Certainly, they were the ones that discovered that recent breach, even though it was with them. The fact that they were able to discover it, they've been bouncing to the upside on any positive news when it comes to the security sector. This is just profit taking here. If it makes a base of 2150, good place to get in. We've been talking about money all day long, but let's go to the big screen with Brendan and Money Talks.
Yeah, I want to get right into this, guys, because Boris Johnson is currently speaking over in the UK regarding the Brexit deal and making comments that the market is not really liking. Through the pound up here, we did get up to 136. If you remember, we were talking about that prior high around 136.2 that it did take out. So we got all the way up through to 136.2 again. But look at this coming in as these comments are being made. So he's talking about some compromises that they had to make to get this deal done with the EU, including on the financial services side and the financial equivalent side. So, yeah, there may be a little bit more to come as far as this Brexit deal is concerned, especially for weakness in the currency. You can see coming off as we speak. We are still higher here, but this was up 1.5% at one point. So only 0.3% now for the pound, 135 and change Yeah, the deal is done. Comments currently being made again by UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. The euro is to the downside today. Canadian dollar basically flat. Everything else, relatively unchanged. We had both Australia and New Zealand to the upside. Turkish lira there to the downside today, 0.76%. Swiss franc, Japanese yen, positive on the day as well. The cryptos at the bottom here, finally getting a bounce in Ripple. 2 days of double-digit declines for Ripple on that SEC news, but 4% today, back higher. The other two not doing a lot. Guys, back over to you.
All right, we're going to hit a chicken dinner winner quickly here because STIC, guys, just continues to make moves to the high side. Did the chicken dinner go? No, it did not. Here's the chicken dinner winner, guys. Breaking 18. We're at 1844 now. We just took some out there at 39. So now we're holding 60% left to go to the high side. They're out 20, out 40, 60% left. We'll see how high we can go now on STIC. So, yes, good trading there on that 18 break. We gave that to you. I may start cashing out. I know, Daryl, you cashed out already, but I'm long 1283. After the show, I got to trade out of the personal account after the show, so I'm not trading at the same time. But 1850, this is a good spot. Probably drop some of these after, like I said. Let's see if we get up to 1819. I do have an offer sitting here at 70 to see if we can break through 50. Next stop, 75. This is how I trade. The bid's still lining up, guys. So let's watch out for 1850 break here, upside, and then 19, and then probably 20 by the close of the day. Do you think we can get there, guys? Let's see if we can on STIC, making moves to the upside there. Oh, and Nikola, that was the other one that just came out for us on that 1410 break. We're now going to wait for a 14 break even, but look at that. 1495, ding, 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 all the way out. Just closed our Nikola trade, guys. Good trade on that one.
Good look. I mean, Nikola's just been such a party. Just like how far can it extend? And sometimes it's a little further down than you expect. To say that that's what happened in AVGR is a bit of an understatement. Like, obviously, this is going to be a good stock for me, and I'm not going to be upset with it. But I did say if it's eventually held below VWAP, this could be one of those just hold it all day long. And I know all day is a little bit shorter today, but I probably sold this one a little bit short. It was a 35-cent close, and I got out of my last shares a good 21 pennies above that price. You're giving up what usually would be like another 30% of a target to the downside. I don't know why I wasn't holding on to a little bit more. It was a gut feel that was a bit wrong. So as much as you can win on the position, you're going to be in trouble there if you don't examine both your wins and your losses for how you can get better, guys. So that's a win that could certainly have been better. Alibaba, now this is one thing I have done a little bit differently when I'm rolling into, sometimes in the short side on these higher flyers, but the same thing with the long, because it's just flip it upside down. Same thing rolling into a long as is rolling into a short off of a top. Instead of putting a stop at the actual low of day, now it didn't break the low of the day. Stop below that price just so you don't get wicked out. 218 had a monster bid on it that got broken, and then failed breakdown at 218, which is usually a pretty good sign. Anybody that shorted that break of the even dollar probably is looking to cover some of those shares. So you're seeing some buy volume step into it. I got some orders out, so if it just absolutely screams to the upside, I will take out a bunch of it in front of that 225. From there, you got to see if it can't get to that 235 mark where, man, that's what I wanted to short. But yeah, if you wanted 235 short, which looked absolutely fantastic, you're literally taking it at 8 o'clock in the morning or a bit earlier than that. And then if you want it on the retest, you're taking it at 9, and then you're giving it like $3 or $4 in the pre-market. So there weren't a lot of ways to get into it at that price. We stayed disciplined, didn't do it. If we had, it would have been fine.
Guys, it's easy to take credit for STIC, but you guys are the ones that have to hit the keys. But yeah, you're welcome. We'll rain the money down here, not only on the show, guys, but we're raining it down in our own accounts as well. STIC, congratulations. It gets to 19 there. We get some out at 75. It goes all the way to 1928 there. So I just can't wait to get out of some of these trades because, like you guys know, we're long $12 on this one from 3 days ago, guys, here. STIC, like this is where we're long down here when I was yelling at the broker, get me some shares. STIC, beautiful trade. Give it, Bren.
Another one to look at, guys. Anyone wondering about this AIRT? So AIRT up on a deal. So this is a micro-cap shipping company, Courier, that did a deal with a joint venture deal with some funding or to secure some new funding. But anyways, it's a long story. 200% here. It's been halted most of the morning. It's halted once again, but just broke $29 to the upside. This thing's up 200% on the day. Was just going to double check the float on this. Yeah, very small, 1.5 million share float for AIRT, guys.
Nope. Yeah, I mean, the volume is so low on the float, and then you have all these multiple halts. On a halt of all days on a holiday, this is a day that you usually do not want to mess around with something like this, unless it is just unless you're one of those like YOLOs and this is your entire game is looking for these multiple halts. It's going to have all kinds of trouble. You get moves like this, it'll have all kinds of trouble even maintaining trade for more than a minute or two because of the low liquidity on it. It's probably going to be halting, and this is the issue with the halt rules. In this case, it probably makes a heck of a lot of sense. You will not see me dip into it. I'm very unlikely to take a new position. I do have the 220 bob along. We're taking another shot at it. We did lose on the first long. I still have JP Morgan here, and this one feels like it's going to be okay. It's just about to test VWAP again. I missed a shot to reload on this, but it's kind of ridiculous to be like picking at Alibaba when a reload in JP probably was a way better play here at 123.70. Either way, it breaks VWAP. I want looking for a 124.50 break. When that happens, I want that momentum to get me out to the upside. Of course, I have a limited amount of time for that move to happen because we don't have all day long. So I might have to take a shallower profit because here on these accounts, of course, we are flat at the end of the day. And today, that is 1 p.m.
All right, guys. Yeah, just again, tweeting out some of the love. Thank you so much. I mean, a lot of you guys making those calls on STIC, and I'll just give it to you guys for making them. I mean, it's up to you to do those trades, and you did them, and you completed them well, my friend. So good job there. BFT still up, STIC still up. Apple, we can check back in Apple. This is why I have OCGN up right now. So we're short 07s. We took more at 97. That's that short right there, you can see. But now there's a little bit of size there at 90. So just wondering if this is a good spot maybe to get some more out on this name. Probably is looking at it. So 191 there. Looks like it's resisting a little bit. So let's take out some 91s. We're still short 07, so it'll be a good trade, guys.
And if you want to short something, because look, we're in Toronto, and that means we are obviously not just, I'm a Blue Jays fan, but we're obviously going to be Toronto Maple Leafs fans. So shorting SENS, yeah, you better believe that feels good. It has nothing to do with the Ottawa Senators. We already went over this name. I did get into it. I talked about normally that strength it had. Maybe it'd be a bit of a break trade, but it might be a strong afternoon play, but it's a holiday shortened day. That's why I think it might fail and fade out. The volume started to die down. It broke VWAP. I'm going to get out some shares, and I'll always do this, at least half the position in front of $1 just because it's that psychological level. The rest, I think, can retest this double bottom at 90 cents. So I don't really think it's going any further than that. If it does, fantastic. I probably will not have any left. It'll be the end of the day anyways by that time, is my guess. So half out in front of $1. I just got another leg out there. And then the rest out in front of that 90, so 95, probably 95, 96, and then 91, 92 will be the rest of my position out in SENS. It's been a good one so far, but I don't want to, you don't want to turn a winning trade into a losing trade. Don't get greedy, especially on this day. There's only a couple of hours left in this trade, guys.
Yeah, we still have a half hour left in the show, guys, and we're excited for that as it keeps on going here. I'm just looking for some new names here as I'm looking at the board to try to find some with some volume. OCGN looks like it's going to break. We just took 2 shots out there, so we still have a little piece on of OCGN. Not much happening there. Blink, wow, what a run this stock has had. Like, unbelievable. It was $8 in mid-November. Blink charging just... Wow, a couple nice news pieces there, a couple nice catalysts to go for Blink, and yeah, just making moves to the high side. This is what I'm talking about. Like, if you're invested into Blink charging, you may want to think about getting out. I mean, not getting out, like getting some off if you're in, because this has been like back December 16th. This was $25, guys. It's 55 right now, so you may want to pair some of that off on Blink charging. But what a great move, up another 20% today. Hey, look, don't email me and say, hey, Sean, you told me to get some off at 52 when it's at 150. But play your game, and this looks like a good one on Blink charging. Over to the big screen with Miss V and her holiday sweater.
Hey guys, most of Europe is closed today for the Christmas holidays. Britain, France, and Spain were open for half day. Most of them closed higher except for France, 0.1% negative. Well, Brexit trading deal has been officially agreed with British banks closing higher. Barclays is closed up 2.94%. Back to traders.
Thank you very much, Izfi. The test on BABA continues of that low. You know, it hasn't broken it yet, but it looks like it might not. Actually, what am I showing the wrong chart for you guys there? I apologize. I have multiple charts in level 2s that are up around here, and sometimes I'll look at the one that is not for you guys, but it's just my own. But here's that test of that low, and I do apologize for all these little wicks. There's not much we can do about dark pool prints that come through, and we want to make sure we get everything on the tape, especially sometimes the important dark pool prints. 217.77 is low of the day. If it breaks the 50 mark, that's where my out is going to be. I want to give it a shot to be able to break the low and actually be a failed break. It is about to try now. This is the second time it's attempted it. The last time broke 218. It did not get to the low. That was a bit of a bullish sign there. I didn't add to it. I'm trying to be disciplined about that. But there is the break. It is what it is. I fought Alibaba, and I lost today. So I can't fight this one. If it does get down to that 215 mark, we're running out of time for me to really like it. That's more if there was strength that was going to happen in the morning or when I think the volume would have been okay. But at this point, it's the wrong time of day for me to be trying to do that little bottom pick. So I need to see something spectacular at 215. Otherwise, BABA just ended up being the short all day long, and we couldn't get it in the pre-market.
I was going to say, like, if someone won on Alibaba, let us know if you were short, if you were long, sorry, because, not too many longs to be found there. We tried, and you know, I was still waiting for that BABA to break. Oh, here's still on blink charging. Yeah, BABA was that 120 or 222 level there. Come on, okay. Wow, 216 now. Yeah, Neil, good call on that one. Yeah, that one just keeps going downside. Alibaba with the breaker. This is definitely a longer-term play now. Obviously, we haven't been shorting this stock. That's been a huge mistake today. So, I apologize if you guys were trying to go those longs. I have a small cut, though, like one here out for this was a $3 hit, and then right here was a $2 hit. So it hasn't been a dramatically insane stock for me today. Just small hits, but we've been wrong on catching the bottoms on this name. It doesn't seem to be one. And again, Chinese names, I started the show basically by saying that, we didn't really have an idea on what the CCP or what this means. Like, I haven't done any research on past times they've looked at monopolistic enterprises. So I don't know how far this can go. I think there needs to be a little more research. The one thing I did say, though, guys, is that normally it's like a 3-day issue where you go down and then you can make the moves back to the upside. So let's see how this washes out over the next couple of days. This is going to be a little different because we are in holiday mode. We could come back on Monday and this stock be up a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be up huge. You're definitely not going to miss anything. I will nibble in to a long on this level, though, guys.
Yeah, I just saw a super chat. Not a good memer. I don't know. We can't judge if you don't send us a meme. Like, you've got OCGN at 50 cents. You think it's a hold? I mean, if you're going to look at my chart today, and we went over this one, retracing in the afternoon off that 3 break, sort of the failure to hold that high, continuing to the downside, down 30%, sorry, 25%. I've been short. We've been short all morning long in this. So for me, do I think it's a hold? I don't think so. I think you take your profit. If you want to hold on to, when you got house money going on here, if you want to hold on to it and just say to yourself, if it, like 180 is the bottom, and if it bounces here, if it breaks through, I'll just take off half my position. Bank profit, I would do more than that personally, but that's just me. And then you want to roll YOLO into the rest of it as a hold. You've got to take profit on these names. When you get moves like that on a penny stock, like 3, 4x, I started my career as a penny stock trader. So those are the first things I used to invest in, because it's like trade what you know. And I always found that you were always better off if you took profits early and then found the next opportunity, as opposed to thinking each one was going to be that home run. So that's my 2 cents when it comes to penny stocks. I wouldn't be letting that 180 get away. But if you can get some out in front of that $2, if it holds this range for the rest of the session, just take your profit. You can always roll that into something else if you can find another good winner, which obviously you found one. There's always these types of opportunities in the future. Brennan?
Man, that OCGN going again, guys, to the downside. This one, we haven't talked about QuantumScape yet today. A little bit higher again, 4.5%. If you remember, first kind of down day yesterday after the big move higher, or 2-day move to the upside for QS, the prior 2 sessions. So down yesterday, we're back up 4.5%. Trying to get back above 115 right now for QuantumScape, guys.
Oh. Yeah, I love that name. I just wish I could get it a little bit lower than where it is right now. I mean, it's just been tanking. I've been ripping, sorry, the other way. That's QS. Look, they have a deal with Volkswagen. It's I think it's solid state batteries as well. That's what they're focused on there. And the run that this stock has been on has been incredible. I just wish that I was looking a little more aggressive into SPACs like I am now. I wish I was a little more aggressive back here because look at $30. Like this was a great break, $44, $45. Now we're moving to the upside, 140 and change here. I don't know. I told you yesterday about 100. If we can get down to 100, we maybe start nibbling. But these, it's just, you know, when you're already in a stock that's exploded like this, you just got to be careful because we've seen so many things, Neil, like Kodak and some of these other names that don't ever seem to come back to these levels. So do some research on these new companies. They're very, very tough to trade, especially at the high side of it, like AI. Like we know it's a great company, but here's AI right here, C3 AI. We know it's a great company, but I mean, where do you buy this thing? Like if you really liked it, like what changed in the company from today to yesterday to warrant like being at 185 down to 161? Like that's a 10-15% move. Nothing's physically changed in the company. So if you like it, you got to try to buy a little bit lower on some of these names. This market is just so heated right now.
Yeah, and you know, I just told myself being down on BABA is not reason enough not to take the trade that you intended on the first time through. 215 was always the level I mentioned in the morning, so I talked myself into taking this consolidation at 220. Whether or not that's a good idea, that's something I'll definitely be revisiting when I review. I like the setup, but when there was a level that I think was the first thing I looked at when I sat down, that's the one that you got to be a little bit more convicted on. So I'm going to jump into it here. I already did, I should say. 1585. It's still holding at 216. This is a hard stop right at 215. I'm not going to let it go past that level. It's just this JP Morgan to the long side. And I'm sorry if I didn't. Well, we already talked about OCGN and SENS, SENS. It's continuing to pump to the downside. One stock that we have neglected almost all week somehow has been Virgin Galactic. Now, it's off 5% today. This is a run and a breakout that if you're ever bullish on a stock, I did pull back, of course, off that failed launch, and we liked it around that 25 for a bit of a consolidation bounce. It gave that. Now it's giving it all back. 25 is coming back into play here. Now, if it breaks this at the end of the year, it's probably just worth hanging on to see if it tests that double bottom at 22.50, 23 as a bit of a shot. So I would wait for Virgin Galactic, but this is, I have a little note thing that I keep for make sure you watch this stock, regardless if it's on our watch list. And I'm adding Virgin Galactic to that list because I feel like too many times this week have there been actionable trades off of the open, specifically in Virgin Galactic, that I'm just not seeing because it wasn't on our list and it wasn't a huge overnight mover. Not going to happen next week.
Yeah, no, I have that list as well, so I think that's a good idea. I keep track of certain names every single day, regardless of what's happening. Fastly, Roku, Square, Beyond Meat, Nikola. I was talking about Beyond Meat with my kid yesterday, who's 18, so it's not like I'm talking with the little kids. They probably don't like Beyond Meat. But I was just like, this consolidation is very, very interesting to me. I want to do a little bit more research on the PLT. I know it's coming with McDonald's. They do have some deals going on there. And I just want to see what's going on there because this was that big drop where they came out and said that they weren't doing a deal, then they were, and it's come back. So I do want to see right here, this bottom 135 and change, and then upside 145. Like it's stuck in this $10 range. So I just want to give everyone a heads up that I like Beyond Meat, and I like it for the longer term. We started going parabolic a little bit off of this bottom up to 200 and then straight down to 100. So that's obviously a 50% return there from top to bottom if you had it, but 100% I guess on the short. But right now that little big bid down there might have been the bottom that we're looking for. We do have a bottom at 124. So I'm thinking like this may be, if we break above here, 140, 150, could be a good little long for Beyond Meat. So some little talk there on Beyond Meat. I like it. Obviously not today for a breakdown, but that's that. What was your position going to be, long 215 or short 215? Because Alibaba's right there.
Oh, I'm going to lose again off of 215. This was the level I wanted in the morning. It's continuing to go down. It's like, if all I had done, and right there's a 215 break, so we're going to get it again. If all I had done, and this is going to be still Virgin Galactic, was make sure we get the reload on Nikola instead of, and this was exactly the moment when I was like, let's take a bit of a look. This is right here. Let's take a look at the bottom on JP Morgan. And it was right when Nikola was going to roll over, and you had that opportunity to say, this is the short that I like, even if I didn't like the short in Alibaba, which was true. I liked it at 235. At that moment, you look at the better stock that you wanted to the short side, you reload it, it continues to flush to the downside, it's getting absolutely hammered. And I've been out 50 cents ago, and I didn't reload when we said we would at 70 to 75, instead taking pot shots at Alibaba. I'm going to walk away from it. There's not enough time in the day to make me dig back in. So we'll see if a JP Morgan can go. Obviously, that was worth the reload that I didn't take either. So it's kind of one of those things where the biggest lesson I learned from this day is the stocks that you had the best read on, where you had the good prices or you had the right direction with more conviction. On this holiday, reloading into those positions made a heck of a lot more sense than going into new ones, right? If I only stuck to the first 4 or 5 positions I had, I'd basically be shooting 80% on the day. Instead, it's like 50-50, but Alibaba has turned me red because I took too many shots at it.
Yeah, I stopped. Again, we learned lessons. We did get that note from somebody that said they're actually learning a lot from our mistakes today, and that's good. I only have 2 mistakes. I'm only red on 2 stocks, and that one of them is Square, which, again, I love the stock, but screw you. Today, down to 231. We did take that break off 235. Again, I just didn't understand this move, so we did take that high break there. We should have got out in this mess, but instead we averaged in and we got out right here. I think this is great. I kind of look at myself and say, this was actually a good disciplined out, because if I had held it all the way down to here, then this would have been a bad Christmas day. We're slightly red on the day, but I can turn this around hopefully in the next 20 minutes. We're going to find some trades. If I just had held this one, you may have heard us say there, Nicola, and I wanted to hold this until the 14 break and then get short again. I was unable to get short. I don't know if someone was trading this. I don't know if Neil, if you got it, but I missed this short. I only crossed down 5 cents there. Let me put up the chart. And then I guess my order was a fill or kill, and I guess it canceled. So on this move, yeah, it looks like it went right down to 90 there on the initial 14 break. So missed that 95, and then it went all the way down to 13.50. Wow. Nicola, guys, this stock may be heading a lot more south than what we think of this right now. But yeah, it's still going to the downside. Another stock we haven't looked at today, and for good reason, Palantir, just again, it had good volume in the pre-market, but it's just been too choppy the last couple of days. I'll go to a 3-minute chart. We're still long this one. I think we can break 30 in the new year. We've talked about that. We're, again, one of those new IPOs that came out. We're long sub 10 on this name. A lot of you guys may be stuck up here, but look at this. It's just the last couple of days, this is what it's been doing, and it's just not exciting enough. There was better names this morning, and we didn't look at Palantir, but you still have some drop-off spots here. I'm losing my voice already. 27.50 maybe to get out. Let's hydrate here. But Palantir, we haven't done anything on it today. It's still dropping. Look, money's coming out of these names. We talked about that would probably happen into the new year. So watch Palantir Jan 1. I'm not super excited about any of these names heading into next week. And 2 things, there's more lessons to learn here. 2 things I want to quickly touch on. One of them is something we talked about with Mark Roberts. The other one is, I've showed you the AVGN trade. You've seen OCGN. And I threw this one in the chat. Like, on a holiday style trade, do what you do best and throw more at it. There is probably zero excuse. I can't think of a single one why I wasn't trading TNXP today. It was on my list. I had levels I wanted to work off of. It gave me all of those opportunities. I wrote 1 price down for TNXP. I want to sell it off of 85. It bounced in the open. This is exactly what I try to stay away from. In the way back up to the open, there was consolidation off that level. Could have had it at 9 o'clock. I certainly could have had it right at 9:30 when it bought into that 85 price and held. It also gave back 25% plus. Well, before consolidation, it got to a low of that. Just no reason not to have an execution there. The other one, of course, was C3AI, which outside of OCGM, which is a bit of a different story because of its volume, this was my top stock of the week. There were multiple opportunities to get into it. I felt like there would be weakness, and Mark was all over this, saying that some of these recent IPOs would have sell-offs today. I did not get aggressive enough the initial short, and certainly when it held VWAP, I talked about maybe taking a shot at it. I did not, because why? Because I was looking at Alibaba, right? So your best reads on the week, stick to those. The things that you're best at, stick to those. Brendan is the best at giving us news, and we always make sure we throw to him when we have it. What's up, Brendan?
Yeah, I was just checking out some of the LiDAR companies that we've been watching over the past couple of days, guys. About 15 minutes left in the show. Christmas Eve edition. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us on your Christmas Eve. Here are a couple of names that we haven't really looked at today very much, but I did mention this Colonnade right off the bat this morning has come basically back down to where we ended the session yesterday, sitting right at 16. If we flip over as well, too, I wanted to mention Microvision starting to look a little bit relatively weak to the downside, 7%. This thing had a huge move from 3 up to 9. We're all the way back to 6 now for Microvision. There's that Velodyne as well. But Colonnade standing out today once again, guys, as being a little bit strong. But thank you, everyone, once again, for hanging out with us for Christmas Eve, guys. We have about 15 minutes to go, so we appreciate you spending your morning with us.
About that rant of like stick to what was best. It's like all three of us had MVIS yesterday short side, and it's just as weak today. So there you go. One more time. If you're still watching Alibaba, I want to give a shout out. So congratulations, Karen, one of our viewers. I'm glad somebody made some money short in Alibaba because we certainly didn't. I actually forgot about that accidental short at 225, which I took out. It is now made a 212 low. It's going to be hands off the keyboard for this one. Let's just forget about it. I'm going to hang on to 3 positions that we have. I do want to see if I can't remind everybody by throwing this up for you. We have lots of our members that hit us up. You ask us questions. We have a great community going on here. Our way of giving back to you is every other week. On Monday, we do a Q&A session right after the show. It is a bit of a special one because Mark, you guys, you see 3 times a week, Mark Roberts comes through from us and gives all kinds of information. This time, you get your shot to ask him questions as well. So it's extra special. Why? Because we love you guys so much. So he is a big fan of the show and big supporter, and of course, a big contributor as well. Take advantage of the fact that he's going to be on this one. I will not be offended if I get 0 questions and every single one is for Mark. In my opinion, why not take advantage of it? So that is on Monday. Make sure you jump on, guys. And if you're not a member, all the more reason to become one before Monday.
Yeah, I'll be offended. I think we can answer questions just as good.
I'm half joking.
Yeah, I know. I think we could do just as good a job as Mark, for sure. But okay, Paranaya, what up? And thank you so much for that super chat. This means a lot to us. Again, everybody today, regardless of the amounts, thank you so much. There was another one, Marlon. You've been great today as well. $2, that's fantastic. And a new member, Dadbod PC, okay? Good job on that one. Why is Blink higher than SPE? I don't know. Check out the valuations. They're probably both off the rockers. But okay, so that's that. And yeah, it's been a good day. Thank you to everybody. And obviously a happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. And it's definitely a Merry Christmas to Tesla owners. We haven't talked Tesla today. We've been talking pretty much everything else, but not Tesla. Look at this, man. A nice, beautiful move back. This is, again, a 3-minute chart. We talked about yesterday that it was stuck in this range, which is why we really didn't give too much look. Already 3,000. Like, I thought that 4,000 was going to come into play there, and we were a little bit nervous. But 3,000, good job, guys. We'll take that with only 10 minutes to go. If you haven't hit the like yet, do it, man. Maybe we get a record today. I think 4,100 is a record. I guess we don't get that today. But anyways, what I want to talk about was Tesla yesterday. I talked about it breaking this 650 and then you'd be off. So I dumped some shares of mine the other day on that parabolic move, which was this, back to the upside there. I got some out at 669 out of the long-term position. I wanted to reload 600. It almost got there, but now not. So I do like that to the downside there. Thank you so much again, John Wilkins as well for the $2. Look, man, everything helps. And it's not about the money for us. Like, if we got 100 people giving $1, that would be fantastic. It's just the love and the support. Keep going, guys. The show's going to keep coming on. We're back, like Neil said, Monday, and then we're there every day next week. And then I think it's New Year's Eve, very similar to today, where you run through a half day.
I think the U.S. isn't it a full day on? I could be wrong.
New Year's Eve?
I thought New Year's Eve was a full day in the U.S.
I'm out of here half day.
We're like the second half of that day, regardless, there's basically no trading going on. Trust me when I tell you that. I can't believe, Sean, you just mentioned Tesla without noting what the high of the day was. You can't make it up, man. It's that 666 again. So
it's almost 0.66 too.
It's 666.64. So someone probably should have priced or ordered 2 cents higher. Either way, That has actually, believe it or not, that actually has been a bit of a level on Tesla the last little bit. So let's watch out for that next week if it can't go past that level. 650, of course, it was a good one, but don't sleep on historical levels, even if they're not those easy round numbers that you like. If there's any stock that is famous for it, on the way up, I will never forget, like, there was like 787 was a big one. It was good opportunities off of that. And then the same thing happened when it got to like 1,000 at like a 987 range. So if it's 666, why not? We'll take a shot at that if we find a way to play off of it next week. There we go. Ghetto Trade. Thank you so much, John Terry. Go Bills. That's what I'm talking about. Buffalo Bills all the way this year. You know we're big Bills fans. D-Train, thank you guys so much for all the support and love. Best to you and yours. Goes without saying. We're going to do, and I know Valeria wasn't too excited about this, we're going to do after the show, of course, a bit of a photo shoot so you guys can see all of us together in our Christmas shirts. We'll get Brendan turn the lights on.
What do you mean, Valeria? What do you, hold on a second. I got to talk to Valeria.
She was like, I don't want to do a picture.
What do you mean you're against it? Like, Valeria looks better than all of us. And,
well, always.
And she's the one against it, Valeria. Come on. I know you're a super team player. And she's looking at me like she wants to, like, but yeah, Valeria, we'll take a good picture. And then you'll tweet it out, right? So everyone can follow us at TraderTV.live. And if I don't get the death stare, I'll be alive. And then we'll do that after the show.
You want that.
Wow, all the super chats, guys. We'll go over those in a minute. But just thank you so much to everybody. A couple $50 here as well. Ghetto trades. I hope your trades are not that ghetto. But right now, thank you so much. Happy. Oh, from A-Rob and the team. Yes, A-Rob. What's up, Alan Robinson? He was on the show. B-Dog. Yeah, B-Dog.
Yes.
Thank you, Captain OG, everybody. Thank you so much to John Terry. Neil already did that one. Go Bills. D-Train, choo-choo. Get all aboard, guys. All aboard the train. We're coming back. Get on this train right now. Boris, what up to that as well? And AK, firing off the AKs today. #1 fan. Thank you so much to everybody, guys. Feliz Navidad, everything. Happy Festivus to the rest of us. Hanukkah over. Merry Christmas, everything, guys. And no matter what your religion, what your beliefs are, it's a special time right now. So just spend it with as much immediate family as you can and try not to break any of those rules. But it's going to be a good holiday regardless. We're back Monday, and just enjoy yourselves, guys. And most importantly, be safe. It's like I'm wrapping up the show. We still have 8 minutes to go. Wow, there's Jake as well. This may be our best Super Chat day, and why not? It is Christmas. Brendan, oh, there's some love. We never get a Rune love. There's a Rune love, and then there's some Mark love as well. Thank you so much, Worldwide. Thank you so much, Marlon. You've been hooking us up today as well. And yeah, I'm running out of breath here with all these Super Chats. And I posted the other day, like, you know, making 10,000 followers was great on Twitter, but all the Super Chat love just means a lot to us, guys. Just keep it coming. Thank you so much to everybody. I want to give a shout out to Rob and Lucas. Merry Christmas to you guys as well. Merry Christmas to Randy, who's been on the show for a bit. Everybody, we can just keep going, Neil. I'm just going to stop.
Well, that being said, that picture we're going to take, it's Rob that you're going to want to see, of course, because he's got a fantastic little outfit there. It is what it is. I personally, you guys know how I feel about it. I think Brendan has an unbelievably awesome Christmas sweater because, you know, I'm a gigantic nerd. Because we got like 7 minutes left, and just a couple of things I want to quickly jump back to. I'd mentioned, of course, and we have Mark joining us for that members chat, and one of the things he said that made me confident in some of the AI trades this week was some money would be coming out of some of those recent IPOs. Airbnb was one of those three. I mean, the big two were Airbnb and Dash, and then C3 AI was just so strong that it became that third wheel. You're looking at Airbnb bouncing off of, a couple of days here, this 155 level, certainly been a bit of a low. It's had a great run off of the bottom. And it just goes without saying, if you pick this up at 120, you're very, very happy. But if that money starts coming out, like it has started to going into the end of the year, those recent trades, if you had a 120 or a 125 consolidation along, you're up like 20, 25%, even on a 155 break. And if this level goes, I want to be playing off this next week. So I'm adding both that price and Airbnb to that little list of stocks that I have to watch, regardless of whether there's a catalyst or it's gapped up or down. I certainly want to be watching Airbnb at 155 come next week. So we'll see if we get a chance to play off that, making some of those plans here. Linear fish, I don't know what that is. Maybe you can check that out, Sean. What is that?
Yeah, no, it's Filipino pesos, which has been fantastic. Look, like we said, it's just fine. We're not looking at these because of the money amount.
I just didn't know what the currency was. Exactly.
I didn't know either. Linear fish, hey, Thanks, man. Awesome name. We love that. Linear Fish, thank you so much. I'm just going to go through it because it's Christmas. Whoops. Am I not going to go through it because it's Christmas? But here we go. Let's just do this. Keep going. Maybe I could take this way just to make sure I don't miss anybody. Dr. William, you've been with us for a long time as well. ASL 72. I really don't want to miss anybody. Jake V. Oh, yeah, we did that one. Okay, so let's start now. Okay, ASL, thank you so much. Thank you so much to Miss V. Starbucks money. Hell yeah, to Miss V. Where's my Miss V? This is one of my favorite ones that we haven't hit in a while. I need the Miss V Batman. Where is it here? I'll find it eventually. We'll get the Miss V Batman coming through. I don't have it. Where is it? Where's my... Do you guys have it on your board? Vlair, do you have it? Hit it if you have it. I can't find it.
I'm literally looking for it.
Okay, that's that. It keeps going here. AK, thank you so much. We've done all these. SG Filipino, thank you. Linear Fish, thank you. Real Ral for Truth, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This keeps going, guys. Thank you so much for Rolling Records. Keeps going. Yeah, British Pounds in the building now. Thank you so much again. Dan Roland, Trickletown. Good. Another one here, TXX. Thank you so much. Overwhelmed to say the least, guys. Thank you so much. It's been a fantastic day. It's been a very, very Merry Christmas for us, and we hope it is for you too. Thank you for finding our show. I mean, that's the important thing for us. There it is. There's the Valeria Batman. Get to Starbucks, Miss V.
Exactly.
It's
Definitely get her
closed for
Starbucks in.
Christmas.
Closed?
Yes, for Christmas.
Uh-oh, they accidentally showed what national day it is. I can't think what it would be. I mean, I'm racking my brain. We didn't spoil anything.
Rob.
You guys know exactly what it is.
You're just pissing Valeria off.
I'm doing my best here to ignore a certain fact, but it is entirely once again Alibaba's consolidating at the bottom. I'm not going to be taking it. I've already lost what I'm going to lose on this one. But again, these super chats keep rolling through, and
we have another one here.
It's
Neil.
just humbling, right? Like Sankar, Trina. It's very humbling to see. Of course, this is all about the trading community that we built here. So we learn from each other. I cannot tell you how many times this year I've seen someone in the chat throw a name that I was not looking at. Look at the chart. It's like, oh my gosh, it's a great opportunity. Right up my wheelhouse. Jump in. Able to make some good trades there. So you guys give back just as much, whether it's the super chats or it's the stocks that we're all watching, or just learning from each other. I think that's what it's all about here. That's what we try to do. I'm trying to stay away from Alibaba, guys, so it is what it is. Like we said this entire time, I don't want anyone to forget, and this is the only reason I'm going to bring it up. Probably the last time I'm going to do it for you guys. Please make sure you tune in for that Q&A session that's going to be on Monday. I was joking when I said just give all the questions to Mark. We will all be there. I just had a bit of an idea that we haven't had Arun on one of these, and I think at some point, I see all the time you guys are asking for ideas in the futures and want to get Arun. So we have to find a way to include him as well in these Q&As. We've done Mark one. We're going to do Mark on Monday. We'll see if we can't get Arun in the new year to do the next one. It's every other Monday. So sometimes... Oh, go ahead, Sean.
I got an easy way to get Arun. I'm just going to ask him.
Yeah, exactly.
To come on.
Oh, I keep forgetting. That's all.
He'll do it. Yeah, he'll do it. Of
course he will.
And again, Arun, guys, I have all the super chats up here, and I just want to thank everybody. Again, just because we've been doing it. Ral for Truth, Joyful Christmas. You've been with us for a while as well. We've talked about some of these. I don't know what this is. Is this Japanese? I don't know. Sankar, thank you so much. Again, amount irrelevant. I mean, it's great. The more, the better. Thank you so much to, was this Trina? Sorry, I missed you. Justin as well. Thank you to Maria as well. And then 777 must be a little lucky number action there. I like it. Paul Coffey, Ray Bork, 77. Thank you so much for all the love, guys, on the show. And yeah, we're coming back. Look at it. Look at them line up here. Oh, what a fantastic day. I'm covering my charts. I'm not even trading right now. It's just been so good. We're talking back and forth. I want to say Merry Christmas again to everybody. And thanks. We're coming back Monday. And like Neil said, hopefully we'll stay away from some Alibaba trades.
Well, I don't know if we have to.
I don't think so, but...
No, there's a strong probability we're trading Alibaba on Monday because it's going to be on the move, and that's what we do. You can't shy away from something just to take a hit on it. If you see a trade, you got to make a trade, and that's what we do around here. There is one thing we got to do before we get out of here. I don't know if I haven't gotten the okay. You guys know all about what it is, but it's definitely a pleasure we give to Miss V to let you know what a national day it is. Today, it's obviously something very special, Miss V.
Hey guys, thank you so much for all the super chats, for supporting us daily, for all the likes and kind words on the chat. We love you and we're really blessed to have such a nice trading community. We'll be getting only better for you, and stay safe and tuned. Well guys, have a wonderful weekend, have a Merry Christmas and Happy National Christmas Eve Day.
National Christmas Eve Day, yeah, International Christmas Eve Day, and like I said, I'm gonna be spending mine in a warm fire, hopefully. Although right now it's 8 degrees Celsius here. Is that still on?
I think we're getting a bit of a storm. Okay, so look,
We're supposed to get a storm.
You guys know how the show usually ends around here, and it's on my ugly mug. But this is a time. Yeah, this is a time of year
Yeah, make me smaller.
You can't make
for
her
family.
bigger?
And I don't know. We got to zoom in so you can see Valeria. So if we can do that. We should, but it's all about
Smallest
family.
candy cane heart ever.
That's a good candy cane heart. That's a good candy cane heart.
Let's
Thanks.
all
Right
do
there,
that.
yeah. Thank you guys for that. But let's just wrap this up. I mean, thank you again. We'll hit one more super chat little thing up here, guys. Thank you so much for SK Customs. Thank you so much. And then again, Nina, the best. You guys are the best. So thank you so much for everything. We're back in a couple days.
Exactly.
Monday.
We're back on Monday. This is our family here on the show. You guys are all our trading family, but definitely happy holidays to you and yours as well. Celebrate them in good health as we plan to here. Make sure you tune in for that photo we're about to take. It should be a lot of fun.
No, we didn't hit yet. I'm just going to hit it because why didn't we do this yet? The man's coming. He's coming tonight.
He's coming tonight.
He's coming tonight. Show
He's
some
working
love.
hard.
Saint Nick, what up?
My daughter was concerned that we had our chimney closed. She's like, we got to open up. I'm like, don't worry, he's magical. He can get through.
Well, I told you what my daughter did. She put my security code on the front door, so Santa knows to
That's
break
probably
in.
not safe, Sean.
That's a problem.
I know, we took it off. Thanks, Brendan. Yeah, I took that off. That's probably a good idea.
Merry Christmas.
But anyways, guys, Merry Christmas. You know what we got to do for the entire team, for Valeria, for Brennan, for Sean, for Rob and Lucas, of course, our production team. I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. We will see you
Bye, guys.
next week.